Good so far. Go ahead and hop into the EU server side. Friendly Hallie. Bit. Update Discord later. Check our volumes. Actually kind of kept everything where I want it. Very nice. Alright, so this is pretty dope. We updated to the hotfix, and we are in fact still bedlogged on our whole C. Love it, love it. Good morning, everybody. What is going on? This is Captain Deadweek. Welcome back to the channel / live stream. Let's see where we're at. We've sort of inadvertently switched to Monday, Wednesday, Friday because I unfortunately fell asleep, or rather slept through my alarm yesterday. I do apologize for the lack of a stream yesterday. I did not feel very good about that. But I'm gonna hopefully make up for it by having 3 streams this week and probably just stick to that schedule going forward. So let's see where we are.
How can Miss help you today? Systems on.
It'd be kind of between Terra and Magnus, I believe. Yeah, there's Magnus Gateway there. Kind of on the edge of the system. Let's actually start heading towards MIC L1.
Engines on.
Here we go. Engine's powered up.
Shield off.
Whole C feels good. Bedlog success from live to hotfix patch. What's up, Malachi? Good morning. Twitch notification still says you are working the supplier dying. Really? I just closed SC to go to bed. Why must you start streaming now? Hey, Arrow, it's good to see you, man. I apologize. Yeah, my streaming hours are kind of crazy, dude. At 3 to 5 life. For me over here in Florida, I'm just waking up, getting my day started. Weird. Let me see what, I wonder if I can edit the info on Twitch. Because I am streaming through Streamlabs, through their multi-stream tool. So on my side, it shows Star Citizen 410 hotfix, hauling, member grind, whole C testing. Weird. So just to show you what I'm looking at, it's, whoa. It's showing it properly down here for me. Maybe it hasn't updated yet. Oh, we're about to have an inception moment, guys. Apologize. The stream of infinite me's showing the title of the stream. Yeah, it says that in stream to me too. Okay, so it's like just the notification for when I'm going live. It still says supplier die. I might one of these days have to just stream, like run a test stream exclusively to Twitch to maybe wake it up. It was just a notification. Saw it on Monday too. Oh, okay, cool. So good to know. I'm still kind of learning how all this works, you know, as I do it more consistently. So maybe I can look into some little tips on YouTube or something about how Twitch notifications update and all. I appreciate you letting me know. Twitch notifications that get sent to phones are from the last stream title. Weird. So I wonder if that just sounds like Twitch needs to do some cleaning of their house, so to speak. It's really cool to have you guys in the chat. I know, Arrow, you probably need to go get some sleep, man. I know it's fun to catch the live streams, but hey, at least you'll be able to watch it back, you know, if you need to go get some rest. I'd hate to be the reason that people aren't getting proper sleep. I know that I struggle to a lot of the time because my brain doesn't know how to turn off, and I want to just not stop, go, go, go. And my wife is like, "You need to chill, man. You need to rest. You need to keep your personal health at the forefront. Otherwise, nothing is gonna last forever or keep going." All right. So I was thinking, I've had some feedback from the hauling video I did, where most people like the short, concise approach to the hauling tips, but there were some people that kind of wanted more of an example or to actually see what I'm doing. So I was thinking I'd do that a little bit, at least for one stack over at Microtech, and actually test how Micro's planetary missions are functioning. Because I haven't done them outside of Hurston 2, so I kind of wanted to see how that would go and show how I actually go about organizing my stuff, which would mean I probably should use the Caterpillar. I was thinking about using the Taurus, something that people can rent, something that's a little bit more attainable versus just showing everything off in the Caterpillar. Phantom, what's going on? For me, it's morning. It's 3:20 a.m. I am psycho, up early. This is kind of, well, so I guess I've been thinking about changing my live stream schedule from Tuesday, Thursday to Monday, Wednesday, Friday to go ahead and do more, because it's been so much fun, and I've had quite a few people coming in, and Twitch went ahead to make me a Twitch affiliate or whatever. So I was like, well, shit, if it's going that well, I might as well do it more often. And I planned to stream yesterday too, but I slept in. I woke up and grabbed my phone, and it was 5 a.m. I was like, son of a gun, I just missed the whole thing. But yeah, 3 to 5. Originally it was Tuesdays and Thursdays. I am going to probably switch the official schedule you'll see on Twitch and in the descriptions of my YouTube videos for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But we are popping in at Mick-L1, which I should probably just switch gears to Port Tressler, now that I'm thinking about it. It is not 87 gigs away. It should be like right next to us. Let's go ahead and pop out, adjust our heading. Just started playing properly and loved your Hauling 101 video. Awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. I mean, my goal is to be as helpful as I can in sort of the industry side of this game. I don't feel like it's been covered a whole lot, and I love this kind of play. Work and play, I guess, because of the kind of style it is. I'm actually heading over to do some hauling missions and kind of show a little bit of the member stat grind that I was talking about in the Hauling 101 video, if you're talking about the one with my Connie Taurus, as well as the one I just did, the little tips and tricks of the member grind with the Caterpillar. So I was going to kind of just show people how I do it, in person live, so to speak. Kind of in person, not really. I don't use Twitch a lot. When will I be able to send you my Twitch Prime sub? Oh, man, I appreciate that. I am apparently in their pending processing cooldown phase. I don't know the proper terminology. I submitted all my stuff, so it just said that my things are under review. So I guess I can let you guys know when that officially kicks off. It did show that like their processing is taking longer than normal for whatever reason. So I don't really know exactly what's going on, but should be soon. It was kind of cool to see that apparently I hit all the milestones really fast, because I wasn't even really paying attention to it. I was just streaming and having fun, and then I get a notification from Twitch saying, "Hey, you are ready for onboarding." And I went, "What are you talking about?" Alright, let's try Port Tressler again, because it's being funny. There we go. Katie Valentine, how's the whole sea working tonight? Can't get the game to play more than 10 minutes without crashing. Really? Oh, that's really sad to hear. Are you on the hotfix by any chance? Have you tried that? I was actually... Weren't you the one that left a comment about wanting to actually see more of how I actually do the loading onto... Like, for the member missions? Apologies, I just woke up, so I'm a little all over the place. Because that's actually what I was planning to do this morning, was sort of actually show the member side of what I do for these missions, and then do a little whole sea testing too to see how it plays. But to circle back around to my question, I'm actually on the hotfix now. I made sure I got that switched over last night when I got home so I could see how it feels. But I just hopped in, so I'm actually not sure how anything's going yet. We did come into the game from being bedlogged in between Magnus and Terra, which is kind of cool, even with the hotfix. update, you know, my game state was still the same. Hopefully it's playing a little bit better. Yeah, that was you. Cool, I thought so. Awesome. I really appreciated that feedback, and so these live streams would be a good place to actually kind of show the more long process of what we do. And past member now with the struggle of crashes. Oh, you got through it, so you're inexperienced? Heck yeah. Yeah, so you'll notice if you go to your RSI launcher and you hit the down arrow, you'll see Hotfix appear. Now, the trick that I do that a lot of people do is you can go into your folder. In fact, I can actually just show you guys. I need a dock.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Approved to dock.
Oh, okay, there it is, docking node. Let me come to a stop real quick and show you all something, a little trick that a lot of us do to make the updates a little bit faster. So I apologize for how messy this might look here in a second. Well, let's make sure we stop moving. That'd be smart. So, on your RSI launcher, you'll see a drop down that'll show live and hotfix. And the easy way to go between these without messing up your settings is to actually go into your game files for Star Citizen. That's Streamlabs. That's Steam Library. Come on, it's early. And this is actually my live folder. So what I do is I click on it, right click, go to rename, and then you would rename it hotfix in this case. Or when it goes back to live, you would just rename it live, and then you go to verify game files. And it just basically updates that current game file as the hotfix or as live and keeps all of your settings for anybody who doesn't know. You just rename and then verify game files after you've renamed it. And just make it the same exact name it is. All caps hotfix, all caps live. Right now my live folder is all caps hotfix. Running that build, and it doesn't interrupt your gameplay. Like, I was bed logged out in live, and I came in bed logged or in my bed in the whole sea for hotfix. And eventually that hotfix might roll into another hotfix. You'll notice by the the game version below it, or it might actually just roll into live and not be there. So don't panic if that happens. If it says you can't get in or there's some mismatch or whatever, if you just hit that drop down menu again and see the hotfix disappeared, then just rename your game again to capital live, verify game files, and bam, you're gonna be back in the action. But yeah, hopefully the hotfix is a little smoother. That is kind of the thing that we've all been doing for so long. And I'm gonna give this I'm gonna do one stack of the member planetary missions over here at Microtech to kind of show people what I do in person, and also because I've never actually done them on this specific build, and there's some weirdness in front of us right now. Oh, that's a turret and the docking node next to it, so we're going to be real careful as we come up here. And then yeah, we'll do some hull seat testing after that to see how it's feeling. I'll go over to Everest Harbor because that was our problem child, was how Everest Harbor was performing. Okay. Why is it? Is this turret supposed to be that close? It feels like it's a very inconvenient position for that turret to be in. Maybe perspective is throwing me off here. Alright, let's back up a bit, get our rotation on here, because that needs to be off of our port side. There we go. So I'll take all of my morning brain focus here to make sure we don't mess this up. We're going to come down a bit. There we go. All of our dots are getting aligned. And there's our roll. Okay. Let's come forward. Our axis is reducing. Pulling back. Whoa, not that much. Sweet, we are on it. Auto docking. Does the hotfix build transfer over to live, or is it like PTU? Oh yeah, hopefully that answered your question, Phantom. Yeah, it carries over everything. You can even be playing with people who are technically in live while you're in hotfix. It's still in the same like server space. You're just playing in a slightly updated or cleaned up or hotfixed version of the game. Dubstep Farmer, hello. I'm considering buying the whole C. Is it working well? I know you've been testing it a lot lately. So, as of the last test, Magnus to Pyro to Terra gateways were all working really well. There's been a lot of server overload is probably how I would put it with regard to the Align and Mine event that's happening right now, focused out of Hurston and Crusader, and a little bit here at Microtech, which I'll be curious about. So because of that, Everest Harbor, the big missions at the whole sea, were not working for me. They were bad. It was total failure, and then I got out of there. And in fact, there was a really hilarious I think my last live stream, the first 3 hours of it was just trying to get the whole sea working out of Everest Harbor, and it was atrocious. But once I got out of there and I got away from that server overload, it performed really well. I did a bunch of missions back to back with no problem. Made like 8 million or so credits pretty fast. Donated some of it to a buddy of mine, a viewer who lost their whole sea. So hopefully he's on fast track into getting his whole sea back because he had it purchased in game and the game swallowed it. So all that to say that yes, the whole sea is working well as long as the servers are behaving. Now with this hotfix, I will be testing the whole sea again on this live stream. I'm just gonna run through. Where am I going? I'm distracted chatting with everybody. Need to make sure I claim over my Connie Taurus real quick. We're gonna do some planetary member small missions to test how that's doing here, and then we'll get into the whole sea and have some fun. It should be pretty fast. We're gonna go set our med spawn. Make sure we practice all the good habits. And I'll check out the chat again. It's awesome to have you all here. There we go. I always like to set my med spawn wherever I'm working out of, just in case Star Citizen does Star Citizen things and saves you the trip. Just did that trick, thank you. Awesome. Didn't know there are. We'll have to give it a try. The crashes nonstop after 5 to 10 minutes of being in game has been a little annoying. I don't know what's causing it. The error code says something with game can't access memory or some nonsense. But I'm running 64 gig DDR. Jeez. Yeah, no, Katie, you should be solid. There's no way there should be that kind of issue. For some reason, Star Citizen really wants you to have a 16 to 32 gig window page file. If you go in and edit, that might help. Interesting. Yeah, I'm running 64 gig DDR4. I haven't had any issues with the memory. Or that's unfortunately beyond my breadth of knowledge. So yeah, hopefully Crazy Advice helps you out there. I might need to keep that in mind just in case I hear anybody else having that same issue, so I can look into it too. All right, transferring Port Tressler. So this is cool. While we're waiting on the Connie to come out, we can actually get some of these contracts together. I'm gonna actually go ahead and set a timer. Not a timer, but like a running stopwatch, because I like to get an idea of just generally how long this takes. Even though I'm not really like grinding it out, I'm sort of just getting an idea for what my casual play ends up working out to be. And that's maps. There we go. Oh my god, 183 contracts. I forgot how much this part sucks. At least with the planetary smalls that we're used to doing for these, they're around these, 90k missions. There we go. So this is what you want to look for. 3 drop-offs. This is stims. And there's the 4 drop-off stims. So I avoid the 4s. I just go for the 3 drop-offs because it's just faster. It pays the same, saves you time on the loop. So we'll go ahead and take that one. Let's see. We're going to run down the list here. I'll try to make this quick. This mouse having the free-flowing scroll wheel actually helps for this part too, which is cool. And we got aluminum for 3. Now, I've never done it around Microtech, so it'll be kind of cool to see. These should all be going to distro or depots, distribution centers, with the internal hangars, so we're not messing with any of those external surface elevators that always love to break. 3 carbon, cool. Working our way through. Wish there was a filter for those missions. Yeah, same. We need like a text-based filter or something, dude. Honestly, text-based filter, just like with our navigation, would probably be the simplest solution, because you could just like type in EXP for experienced, or member, or interplanetary, or planetary small, and just really bring this down to what you want to see. Well, being a friend had this issue after I edited his page file. It worked fine, and mine started after I tried to make my file smaller when I upgraded my system, and then I had to change it back. Interesting. It's good to know, because I also plan to upgrade my PC in the not too distant future. I might bump into these same problems as I change my RAM and all kinds of stuff. We literally need a filter for missions because it's absurd with the amount of missions we get. I agree. One thing you might notice, Katie, too, and anybody who runs a whole sea, is if you're going through your contracts when you're not next to a planet, it's awesome because you drop down to like maybe 50 or 60 contracts. And then, of course, finding the ones that say interstellar stand out pretty well. But yeah, when you're planet side, the second you hit, I think, experienced, you're at 150 hauling missions. And I'm just in senior. I'm like halfway through senior, and it sucks. You start to kind of learn where they generally sit, and as I scroll, I'm just kind of like watching for these 99Ks to pop up. There's quartz. I wonder if it's gonna have all 8 here. That'd be interesting. What are we at, like 4 now? Oh, I always feel like I'm passing one, but it's the 4-stack. Yeah, we don't want 4 stacks because that just, again, it adds an extra stop and it ends up adding an extra, 10, 15 minutes to your run. There's the tungsten. And if you want to do the 4, you just like doing it, there's no problem with it. But a lot of folks, especially in the member grind, they want less. They just want to get through it, especially when you're waiting on using your whole C for hauling. I can totally relate. That's why I actually ended up loving this method, because you do this like maybe 3 times and you're done. Because that's 24 missions. Right? Did I math that right? 8 times 3 is 24, yeah? At least out of Hurston. We'll see how many there are here at Microtech. Corundum times 3. Cool. We're also going to make sure we don't have any duplicates. Yeah, we're already at 7 missions accepted. Man, Microtech might have them all. That's pretty sweet. And scrolling down. Are we getting... I think we passed them all now because we're in the big meaty stuff. So it's tempting to go for these planetary ones that have these much larger payouts. And once these surface elevators are working reliably, yeah, it'll be dope. But every time I try to use those darn surface elevators, they want to go into a permanent loading phase. See, there's the 4-stack Acrondum. We don't want that. Yeah, these, no, that's not. They're usually like 120-something K, kind of like this. But the payout, or the hassle of dealing with them is just not worth it. Yeah, see, now I have to go back up, because we've definitely... These member planetary small, oof, my mouth would work, are kind of all chilling somewhere toward the middle. Middle to, like, maybe upper third of the contracts. So is it really just 7? Am I just barely missing that last, like, 90K mission? Hang on, there's one here. That's the 4-pack of stims. We want the triples, not the quads. That's another 4-pack of stims. Jeez. Another reason I don't do multiple commodities or multiple missions of the same commodity is because you misplace where one of these little 2 SKU boxes is going. You're spending all your time running around trying to figure out shit. Did it go to the last place I was at? And where's the one that I needed for this one? Did the game eat it? Just painful. I'm sure plenty of you have been there. This is probably one of the most time-consuming parts of being a hauler, is just going through all these darn missions. Hopefully, I feel like this should be a simple solution, but I'm also not a game developer. But hopefully they're working on it and getting some sort of filter. But a basic text-based filter would be perfect. Simple solution, then maybe give us some extra little tabs, like quantity sizes we want to stay above or below, or maybe monetary amounts. I'm thinking about all the ways we filter stuff online. I guess... that must be it. Yeah, alright. So, 7 missions. Let's see, what are we missing? We got corundum, titanium, tungsten, quartz. I don't think we got tin. I don't think tin was at this one. Yeah. So, cool. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick picture of all these, which is what I do. I photographed them alphabetically just so for my own sake, I can keep track of which ones I've already looked at. So, we need copper, and then corundum. Where's the copper? Or, sorry, carbon. I keep saying copper. And corundum, and then it should be quartz. There's the quartz. And then stems. Stems should be toward the bottom. It's like the first one I grabbed. And then it would be tin, but we don't have tin on this one. So we're going to do titanium and tungsten next. Titanium and tungsten. So, yeah, then I just have my phone down here by me. And I'll just swipe back and forth when I'm onloading and offloading or checking out like which station I've been to. And actually, let's see here. We're going to be going to Grey Cat, Stanton 4 production. New Babbage will be my last stop. Sakura Sun will be my second to last stop, just out of habits, I guess. So, Grey Cat, Microtech Logistics, Kovalex Distribution Center will be my first stop. Okay, cool. So it's basically 4 places, just like Hurston, just a different names. And I guess I can do these alphabetical too. That's kind of cool. So Kovalex will be first, then Grey Cat, Microtech, Sakura, then New Babbage. I know New Babbage is technically not alphabetical there, but the final drop off being the main port of entry, like Tisa or Riker, is just the way I've liked to do it. There we go. All right, we got our contracts. Let's go get our Connie Taurus up here, and I'll take a look at the chat.
Welcome to the
Thank goodness we have Chat GPT. What? What did I miss? Oh, for kind of learning what's going on with, you know, your game systems and all, or getting a little brief education on. I do that all the time. Anything that's like out of my scope of what I'm doing, I will leverage Grok or Chat GPT to be like, hey, help me understand this because I do not know what's going on. Somebody actually said that they would. Okay, that's alarming. We have no supposed drop off there, but that's fine. We're gonna do our same trick. We're going to store the ship right after we had called it to hopefully instance that hangar. There we go. Now our medium hangar should be instanced, so we can just go down and call the ship from there and not mess around with this weird main terminal shenanigans. I need to run perfect because I don't plan on running missions with it. I plan on cargo trading. Oh, I see what you're saying, dubstep. Yeah, so I've heard one or two people say that they have still had issue with that. Man, running commodities is a risky thing to do right now. I would wait. I have, even in the PTU, I did not give it my vote of approval or vote of confidence for doing commodities trading with your own income in this game. There's too much risk. I'll let you know if it gets to a point to where it's got my seal of approval. Not that it, you know, carries all the weight in the world, but I will definitely let you know. All right. Now let's go over here and pull this stuff up. This might take a little bit longer than it normally would for me, just because I'm going to also be chatting with you guys. What's up, Deshaun? How you doing, man? We're going to do some member missions real quick. Looks like a 7-stack at Microtech, and then some whole C stuff. Here we go. Select mission category, select all, move over. I've learned the hard way that this doesn't always mean that it's actually grabbing all of your mission commodities. So I'm going to unselect that. Okay, nothing's there, so this should genuinely be everything. And then we will reposition the Connie. "100% text search would be amazing. You'd save so much time." Absolutely, Kevin. That's what I'm voting for. At CIG, they're still trying to add corners to the round holes. That's fair. Anything that might seem simple, you're just going to have to accept that it is the way it is with these guys. I mean, they're taking on a massive task of a game like this, so I try to take any issue I have with that mentality of continuous improvement, of knowing that we're playtesting a game that's gonna break. I get frustrated too, but you know, it's at the end of the day, I'm having a good time testing out a cool space game that I've liked. Let's get our MFDs set up here. Let's get rid of the MFD casting so I don't have that over my screen. It's the only ship that I turn that off because I hate having the hovering, like, heads-up display image of the ship over the actual MFD of the same thing. Alright, let's give us a little rotate here. A little too fast of a rotate. Let's back away. What are we doing? It's early. I haven't woken up. What are we... Oh, we're in a medium hangar. It's a lot smaller, I forget. Alright, we're going to have to sort of 3-point turn this thing into this area here. What are you talking about? Really? I know you got a big butt. Come on, dude. There we go. I thought so. Alright. And right. Oh, you stop it. Just sat down. There we go. Man, that was way more annoying than it should have been. So also, guys, I had somebody in the comments ask about this in the Connie. If you go into your inner thought and come right down over here, open cargo bay. So you can just specifically open your cargo bay. You don't have to mess with anything else. And that will drop down your belly. So if you want to just utilize your ship's tractor beam, and yeah, I guess, man, medium hangar is tiny for this. I'm so used to doing this out of like a large. Hopefully that was entertaining. So I'm going to hop out and do this with my tractor rifle, just kind of getting everything organized where I want it, and then we can actually unload it with the tractor beam if we want. But for this initial loading step, I take a little bit more time just to have everything set up the way it needs to be and spread around. And Dub said, yeah, these are ground locations. We are just not going towards, hopefully, surface elevator locations. If that's confusing, it'll make a lot more sense once we actually get moving. I go to distribution centers. They're actual hangars that you fly down into. And I swear, they have never failed me, ever. Since 401, or whenever I started hauling. It's the surface elevators that have been a problem. Alright, but let's see here. We're going to check. We're going to go New Babbage all the way aft in the Connie. And we're going to check our Corundum. Where are we at? Corundum, we're going to do Foreskew to New Babbage. So that's perfect. This one to go all the way in the back. And let me actually, whoa, let's not do that. Let's bring this forward. Come on now. Let me actually check up the chat real quick. On the whole C, it's based on the order you accept the missions, so you can run multiple commodities of the same type. Just do the order you accepted them. Yes, I did have success stacking missions with the whole C. You just have to be careful once you're stacking missions that would technically be over the quantity, like you're dropping off 3,000 SU and then picking up 4,000. It's caused some bottlenecking. I've had a little issue there, so keep that in mind. If you don't do the order you accepted them in and skip around, they won't take the duplicate items. Good to know. I haven't messed around with it in that way specifically. Corners to the round hole is what the in-game industry would call server meshing. Look at it now, its square peg almost fits. Yeah, it's pretty awesome to see server meshing actually being put into a game and tested in real time with hundreds of players. Have a good stream. Got to get off to work. All right, Phantom Tom. Man, have a good day at work, dude. Hopefully I didn't miss that text a little too late. We need pink skins for all the ships. You know, that'd be sick. I don't know about you, but on my Vulture, I've got the black and like hot pink livery, and it was sick, dude. It was awesome. My buddies in New York called it my Hello Kitty Vulture. I was like, you know, it is fine because it looks badass, and I don't even mind. All right, I'm gonna probably set a few things out here in segments to kind of help organize while I chat. This might be a little bit of a shit show. This is one way where the Caterpillar is kind of the king with regard to organizing stuff. So I'm just gonna throw all the commodities of the same type, kind of with each other, and then I will pitch them in. Hey dude, saw your 2 videos, wanted to come and say thanks for letting me know that the whole C actually works most of the time. Hey, I'm happy to help. That's what I'm here for. I'm glad that people have been enjoying the content. It's been a lot of fun to do. There's a button on the right of the console for the cargo bay. Yep, there sure is. Star Kitten everything. Yeah, that's what it was, Star Kitten. I love it. Oh, dude, that's one of the coolest. I would rock the Star Kitten on the Connie Taurus too. It's sick. I really love that livery. Our first wave jumper had a hot pink sail. Hell yeah. You will definitely not find any anti-pink sentiment here. I think it looks sick when it's applied, especially when you mix black and pink together. Freaking awesome. But alright, let's see. For New Babbage, we need 4 skew of carbon, 4 skew of aluminum. So let's just keep on bringing this stuff over. That's the thing. It's going to have all these commodities sort of linked together, so we got to kind of organize them a bit before we can actually make this happen. This part, honestly, this would be faster with the Taurus's tractor beam. It's that much better. Hang on. We're gonna pivot here. Jump in that Taurus tractor beam to move things around. This is probably the only ship, in my opinion. Let me know if you guys have one you like that has like an actual truly functional tractor beam where it makes sense to use it more often than not. Gun Monkey Mark, what's up, dude? My org is actually called the Happy Hauler, so be able to actually haul now is nice. I could imagine. Yeah, it's kind of bad when like the flagship hauler isn't able to actually do its job. And I hopped back in my pilot chair. Have I mentioned that I woke up at 3 a.m.? Alright, let's try again. And let's not hop into the top turret, because I hate when that happens. This will disappear, and you'll jump into the top turret by accident. So I think we're good. Need a little bit more of this monster, guys. I also love the Lovestruck. Wow, that broke my brain for like 2 seconds. I also love the Lovestruck paints. I have them for my Zeus and Super Hornet. Yeah, I've got it for my my Mole, my Super Hornet. The Lovestruck is awesome. My actual favorite color is like that royal purple, which is why for a minute the Headhunters had a pretty sweet skin that I would have loved to have run, but I got duped into joining the Frontier Fighters like a bunch of people did. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's working. Let's go. Let's fire this bad boy up. Why is my... Gotta tap Z there. Okay, now my camera's doing normal things. Alright. Nope. Alright, so the aiming is still a little off, which is frustrating. Yeah, God, that moves so much faster. Okay, so quartz I'll throw over here for now. What do we got here? This is titanium. We'll put over here for a sec. Just want to be able to grab everything in here. Alright, quartz again. Let's throw this over here. This, I didn't turn my engines off, so hopefully we don't have our issue where we bump into our landing gear or something and end up flying up. So keep that in mind when you're throwing cargo around. Try not to throw it right at your Connie, because that'll end up being a bad day. Alright. Quartz. Carbon. Wow, 4 skew of carbon? That's not normal. I don't see that too often. Alright. Titanium. Titanium. Just give it a little toss. Wow, grab the whole elevator. That's interesting. Nope. Let's stop doing that. What are you... Thank you. Corundum. I believe I had over here. Nope, that's tungsten. Where did I put the corundum? Is it just right here? Yeah. You don't move any further. There we go. Yeah, corundum. Alright. Quartz. Let's throw that this way. Go. Let's see if I can throw around cargo while chatting. A good green paint for the Carrot could be sick too. Yeah, you know, honestly, there should just be a lot more paint variety for all the ships. I would love to see that. And that is definitely one way to get more money out of me too. I mean, the second I'm gonna get a ship, I'm going to the pledge store and searching paints, and then I'm going to the subscriber store. Jeez, searching paints there, and then I'm going to frickin' concierge and searching paints there. I want to be able to customize my ship. Alright. Nobody OSHA me for how these containers are getting thrown around. We're moving, man. There we go, more corundum. Feels like so much more cargo since we're working out of this medium hangar instead of a large. Come on. There we go. I think I hear somebody else's tractor beam right now. Or I'm just getting a double tractor beam sound effect, which is fine, I guess. Alright, what do we got? Is that... Stop! Why are you grabbing the elevator so much? There we go, more titanium. Alright, put that down right there. Hopefully the Zeus tractor beam ends up getting some love. I remember I only had that ship for a little while, but that tractor beam placement in the back just... I wasn't a fan. I couldn't really make much use of it. Not to mention the cargo gridding for the Zeus is a little wonky. There we go. Carbon. Alright, carbon's different. At least it's green and easy to identify, so we'll just throw carbon there. That's fine. Quartz. So much quartz, my gosh. Materials that we never use, man. It's like outside of hauling, you never really mess with these. Throw that there. What do we got here? Carbon. Let's throw you right there. The aluminum, which I can't grab. There we go. We'll get this one. I'll probably just throw that here. Not having a full commodity might actually make this run a little faster too, since we don't have any tin to worry about. There we go. The carbon over. God, you come over this way a little bit.
What it do, buddy?
What's going on, man? Trying out this hotfix and seeing how Microtech hauling is going.
We Got my Wicklow stuff started and entry-level quest done, and I just got done doing a line of mine.
Solo?
Me and 2 other guys.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll say that seems like that'd be a tough venture. Yeah, I could imagine. I need to get into that with y'all. I need to maybe even dedicate one of the upcoming streams to it, or do it during the day.
Yeah, we snagged about 1.5 favors worth of stuff.
Yeah, that's the part of it I really want to do, is get Wickelow's like special rewards. Nope. Oh, I almost did the thing where I put it below the tractor beam and you can't reach it anymore.
Yeah, but man, that was a blast.
What, the actual like doing the align and mine part of it?
Yeah, having to go down to each station, getting in, key cards,
battery
inserted,
packs and such.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I look forward to more and more kind of sandbox in the verse sort of interactive events like that. That'd be cool, you know.
It does help them on a server with like 20 people, so there wasn't a whole lot of resistance.
I noticed that. So it was one of the reasons I hopped into the EU. I saw you had 34 people on. I was like, that's either going to be amazing or horrible.
It's been amazing.
Oh, good. I'm glad it was the latter. Are you on Hotfix, or are you still running live? I know you typically wait for Hotfixes to go to live.
I'm actually on live right now because
Gotcha.
I tried to boot into Hotfix and it just got really wonky, and I was like, nope, we're going back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm running Hotfix now, and so far it's been okay. I've got like a double tractor beam sound effect going on at the moment.
Yeah.
But nothing too bad. We see Burrito Man in chat saying, what does the hotfix do? Honestly, it's hard to say. I don't know if there are any hotfix patch notes or anything anywhere that we can actually check.
There generally is on the Spectrum, but you gotta do some hella digging for them.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, I missed a few things. Sorry, guys. I was getting into throwing this cargo around. Yeah, I was happy there was a concierge pack for the golem with a cool paint in it. Yep, I got that too. My buddy Captain Kuza here on stream right now. We were tearing around in that golem so much that I melted my prospector because I had too much fun. Vladish below. Why are you even able to grab the elevator? You know, these are good questions. Why can't I grab the full-ass elevator with my tractor beam? Which, of course, I can't do now that I don't have any cargo on it.
I also managed to scrape in 4 NDBs tonight, too.
Oh, there you go.
So, yeah, that was a good haul.
Was that with your SRV, or?
No, I went out to one of the places and there's that little blowed up Hornet with 4 of them on it. I was just like, well, those are mine.
Oh, that's awesome.
Those are coming with me.
Yeah, we're good there. That's going to New Babbage. All right, 4 carbon to New Babbage.
The Atlas Geo has earned my respect. I
have not messed with that yet either.
I had a guy that I borked my Valkyrie out there getting a battery. Like, I went to put the battery in, and when I graded it, it popped my ship up, and I couldn't actually get back to my ship, so I grabbed my Geo out of it. About that time, a player came in on a Corsair and like started shooting my ship. I got in the Geo and jetpacked into the back of his Corsair and beat him up with a mining laser.
No, you did not.
Yes, sir, I did.
Oh my gosh.
I was in stream with 2 other dudes. They were like, "How you get beat by a Geo?
Oh
How you get nuked by a Geo in a ship? Like, what are you doing, bro?"
I need to... Man, I always miss these crazy adventures with you when you do some crazy shit like that. Who jumps into somebody's ship and beats them down with a Geo? Alright, new fear unlocked. That's freaking amazing. Hang on, that was going to New Babbage. Okay, cool. Nothing from Stims is going to New Babbage. We got 9 SU of Titanium going to New Babbage. Alright. I can't believe you beat somebody up with an Atlas Geo. That's gonna live rent-free in my head. What do you think, chat? Do you ever imagine the Atlas Geo being used as a boarding party beatdown machine? Oh my gosh. Is the tourist tractor beam better than the oh, you know, so if I can get my brain to work, I have had trouble getting to like the ATLS personally because I use the Caterpillar and the Taurus. The ATLS is really good. The Atlas is really good with like the C2 and stuff, but in my experience testing it with my Connie and with the Caterpillar, it's been a nightmare. It's been more of a gimmick than actually usable. So
I will agree that ships that have onboard tractor beams are way more efficient at it until you get to 1 SKUs.
yeah, and I'll say
One,
that
two
being the
SKUs,
case,
3
maybe
SKUs.
aside from the Connie Taurus though.
Yeah, but being able to pull that box and flick it,
Oh, true. Yeah, that's a good point.
just
That's a
like
good point.
dink, 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 dude, you can do a lot of boxes in a short order. But I will say with certain boats, especially like the Constellation, and the fact that the cargo grid's so kind of narrow and long, it does
Exactly.
make it a
Yeah.
bit of a challenge to actually get it to be effective. And at that point, you're losing cargo space carrying one.
Yeah, that's
If
kind
you're
of the case with the Caterpillar too. You know, modular, kind of away from you. Like you can't make sure that you're actually gridding that cargo in the farthest back spot in the cat that you wouldn't have to be on the cat adjusting stuff to fit everything in properly. So it just adds
Correct.
more steps to your process rather than it just being a one and done, go get out of there kind of thing.
Yep, exactly.
It definitely has its use case though. I mean, it's not a bad piece of equipment. For the ships that I
Oh yeah.
run, typically either going out there with my tractor rifle or my tractor beam and my Taurus is the way to do it. Let's see, Sakura
Yep.
6SU. But I also don't mind it taking a little bit longer. I've said a couple of times in streams that I'm not the player that necessarily tries to min-max my times for hauling. Trying to get every possible second out of what I'm doing. I can respect those who do. That's no shame. Oh, I think I just knocked that 1 SKU right under my tractor turret, and I'm not going to be able to reach it. Son of a bitch. There is a blind spot with your Taurus tractor beam that if you happen to knock a box there, you're going to be in some trouble.
Yep. Yep.
Why?
It's just like if you accidentally alley-oop a box over the Caterpillar and it lands right in the little groove at the top. You're like, oh no.
Yep.
Now
Oh, I just
back
figured
in
out
my
a new
ship.
issue. My mouse isn't registering properly. There we go. Because I needed to rotate this box a little bit here.
So the Volt guns earned my respect.
Okay. Yeah, you were saying that those were actually pretty awesome?
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah. It's definitely earned my respect. I've schwacked quite a few people with them.
There we go. My tractor beam was being really dumb for a second there after I was just talking so good about it. Okay. Why? Uh-oh. Son of a... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm struggling here with my equipment.
You having technical difficulties with the equipment, sir?
Well, if they would make it to where these tractor beams would actually aim where you point the crosshair, you wouldn't dislodge a whole stack by grabbing the bottom box.
Yeah.
So now I'm just making sure that this... Oh, I almost did it again. Okay, is that griddable back there? Is that doing its thing right? Yes. Okay, so those are fine. So I can put these back. There we go.
Yeah. So we met a couple guys that after we fired off the laser, which that was cool, but the server almost grinded to a halt when that happened.
Yep.
That basically came down with us, and we all kind of mined in peace. They kind of looked at us, and we looked at them, and there was some words in VoIP that was like, "Hey, we're cool with you getting some stuff as long as you let us get some stuff," and it was a good time. It was very good to see.
Yeah, I bet there's going to be a bunch of players that are like, all right, we just kind of want to do this event here. So if you guys are wondering what I'm doing, I'm dragging the box to get it to rotate because I haven't bound a rotate function to my sticks yet. And for some reason, my mouse rotate is being stingy and not wanting to work. So I'm doing the whole forklift freight mechanic style thing where you just punch the box on the side and rotate. All right, there we go. Man, tractor beam's giving me a hard time. One more carbon. I will say that I've been spoiled with the organization of the Caterpillar with regard to these specific missions. Problem I have with the Taurus is trying to place the furthest box in the grid. Yeah, what I typically do with that is I'll take the box all the way back past the grid where the box or the blue grid spot disappears, and then I just bring it back in and then grid there and then just try to stack on top of that, and it's been okay. But yeah, it can be a little frustrating. Let's see, we got 3 Corundum going to Sakura-san. So that'll be 2 and a 1. There should be plenty of room here. You can make better, efficient use of your storage space with how you're doing this. I know I only have 7 contracts worth, so it's not going to be enough to really cause any issues. With 7 SU of quartz. Alright, so 7, for anybody who's wondering, never do a quad and like 3 singles. You know, whenever you have 7 of something dropping off somewhere, it's always going to be a quad, a 2, and a 1. That is just how it works. If you try to deviate from that, it'll not show up properly when you go to submit, which is kind of a sign to say, hey, maybe I shouldn't send this down. I should figure out why it's not selecting this or accepting this. But then you want to just make sure that you're always getting a single and a double with the quad. All right, let's see. We've rotated. Let's get back here. Let's push this in. Come on, buddy. Just right above that quad. There we go. That's what I want. And then where's our single? Chilling over here. With these planetary member missions that you're trying to stack to get through member 2, they're only going to be in these size quantities, which is nice. You don't have to worry about, you know, 8, 16, 32s. It kind of would be nice to have those to make it a little bit faster, but it just makes it easier to kind of cram things into like a Corsair or a Zeus because of the way the grid structure in a Zeus is. And then we got stims are not going to Sakura. 9 SU of titanium to Sakura. And apologies if I'm missing some of the chat. Just trying to get this titanium in here so we can move on with our day. That titanium... Jeez. I just brute forced that titanium into the ship. There we go. And the single, come over here. Actually, we'll throw that. Nope, that's not where I wanted. There should be a spot right... Am I crazy? There's like a little place to go right... There it is. I knew there was. Alright, then we got tungsten. 5 SEU to Sakura. Tungsten I think I have over here. Yep, there we go. We'll stack this tungsten on top. Well, there we go. Perfect. And... No! What are we doing? There we go. Give me that single. Pop it up here. Are you using Erebus Quantum Drive on your whole C? I sure am. That is the quantum drive of choice, thanks to this man on stream with me right now. He showed me the way of civilian quantum drives. The acceleration is just too good, man. Alright, next I actually want to do... Should I do Microtech or Grey Cat? Is Microtech just the stims? It is. Okay, cool. So Microtech and Covalex will be the last 2 I put in just because those are all going to be the stim stuff. So we're going to go Grey Cat now. 9 SEU of aluminum to Grey Cat Stanton 4. Is it all Complex A? I want to make sure. Yeah, it's all Complex A. Sweet. And I hope that these are the distribution centers. They should be. I'd be really annoyed if they weren't. We don't mess with any surface elevators around these parts. Oh, cool. I didn't actually put the aluminum in my dead zone. Yeah, if you put a box like below your maximum angle here on this circle, you're kind of screwed. So just keep that in mind when you're moving stuff around because it'll force you out of your ship to grab it. All right. So the last bit of aluminum's going on board now, which is nice. Throw this over here. And I don't know how many of you are using sticks for flying and stuff, but I use my stick for actually maneuvering the tractor beam, which is really nice because I can just continuously move it versus how you have to move your mouse. It's been a really great experience using tractor beams on stick. There we go. There's all the aluminum.
Speaking
and we got
sticks, mine will be here Thursday.
Oh, yeah?
Thursday.
Let's go, dude. That's going to be awesome. You're going to be a whole new monster. There will be a little bit of a learning curve, but you'll get through it probably in your first session.
Yeah, I think the hardest part is going to get everything kind of figured out. How I want
Yeah.
maps.
Man, I would love to sit in Arena Commander with you and maybe tell you where I've got stuff. That's what Kai and I used to do. We would just mess around with, you know, who's got what where. Not all of our mappings are exactly the same, but sometimes things just make intuitive sense as far as like where you might put your VTOL, where you might put your space break.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably be doing that most of the day, Thursday.
All right.
So once they get here.
Quartz.
Which says they're supposed to be here Thursday, but when I looked, they were still in China, so I don't know if VKB turns out to ship and in 2 days have it on my doorstep, I'm gonna crap myself probably.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I was kind of blown away with how fast I got mine.
So
Okay, all the stems are going to these spots. Okay. Oh, and same with like 3, guys. It's always going to be a 2 and a 1. It's never going to be like 3 singles. Hang on, we don't need to... Or yeah, no, that's going to Grey Cat. So yeah, we'll stash this on top of the quartz here. Where's the single? You went double tilt, right? You went double Evos?
yep, double omnis, yeah.
Or double Omnis, yeah.
Yeah, with a straight adapter in case I don't like my aiming stick to be that way.
Yeah, that's all I'm running. Aim and stick straight. Throttle stick is tilted.
Yeah. So
9
I'll
SEO
try it first
titanium.
with the omnis and then see if I want to convert it or not. I'll play with it. But Thursday I'm also gonna try to get my hands on a Pioneer since they're limited.
Yeah.
Currently.
See, I see a lot of talk about crafting gameplay. Is it closer than I realize? Because it seems like that's such a ways off.
They're acting like it's closer, but I'm not thinking it is. But at either way, I'd rather have like the Mac Daddy of Mac Daddy crafting ships at our disposal when we want it.
Yeah, that's solid logic. I don't
So,
disagree with that one bit.
considering I have a coupon and an LTI token, and I've got the store credit for it, it's like, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
All right, sweet. And then we just got all the last little bit of stems. So you guys can see, too, with the way you throw this stuff in here for these contracts, is you essentially fill up the cargo bay of the Taurus. I could have packed it up a little bit tighter. I didn't really feel the need to. But since I've done it this way, the offload will be a lot faster because we're just going to attack this in that specific order. And whoop, didn't want that to happen. Let's drop that there. So like the loading might take a little bit, but offload will fly by. It'll be interesting to see how I get this in there because we put that little 2-skew in long ways. I'm just going to raise it up and maybe smack it against this other box to straighten it out. Oh, that didn't quite work. Let's do it up here. Damn it. If it would stop doing the little wavy thing that tractor beams do when you pull them back and put them forward, they like dip down on you. I need it to bump into that top. There we go. That's what I wanted. You know what would suck is if we ended up getting charged, like, for damaged crates. Like, but I use other boxes to straighten out my boxes. Don't do that to me.
that would be quite hilarious.
Yeah, it would be. Alright, as we were getting up here, let me see what's going on. My Fear as a Polaris owner is now an A1 flying over me and taking me out with 1 bomb. Oh no. When did that happen? Does that happen? An A2 or an A1?
A2, I would think has the punch power for it, but that's exactly what they're designed for. So, well,
Kevin, how are you not swearing more? I'm probably not awake enough. I mean, I'm prior military and very prone to swearing, but you know what? It's actually probably because of my day job and my other YouTube channel and stuff. Like I don't know. I've kind of learned to dodge saying some things, but it'll slip out. It'll also depends on who I'm around.
You are clear to launch.
yo,
I try to keep things as clean as I can for folks, but I will say some stuff sometimes. And hopefully everyone will get to know that the kind of person I am, I never mean it with malice or cruel intent, just reacting to stuff. I think it's more like a proper slew that you get on a large machinery. Yeah, I agree with that completely. Brian, what's going on? Where's the best place to start the hauling runs? I just made member this morning. Oh man, awesome. So you're the kind of person to talk to with this. Actually, from what I'm seeing, you could do this at Microtech or Hurston. I'm kind of demonstrating the member grind. I've got 7 of Hurston's member contracts here, and we're gonna jump down and get all these delivered. We're gonna hit Kovalex and Microtech Logistics first to drop off these stims, and then the others. And I've got a rolling timer to kind of see how long this is gonna take. And I'm doing this out of my Taurus this time because this is a ship you can actually rent, and is a fantastic hauling ship rather than showing you guys my privileged lifestyle in my Caterpillar. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead to this Kovalex Center. That's Gray Cat. There we go. Kovalex Distribution. We'll make that our first target. And I will be able to chat more as we're quantuming around. And so I'm attacking this in this sort of kind of loose alphabetical order. Not quite, because I don't have it exactly alphabetical like I do at Hurston. Because Hurston, I go Kovalex, Casio, Farnsway, Sakura, and then Tisa Spaceport. And I'm sort of mirroring that with Microtech in a way. Let's see. Did it keep my nav to where I need to go? Or it did not? Or it should have. It'll just be the one that lights up. There it is. Let me get this started. But yeah. Grab. So member is going to be kind of annoying. It's something that we all have to go through to get to experience in the fun of a whole sea. And the best way to get through it fast, it's a bit laborious, but you go to either Everest Harbor or Port Tressler, you grab the 7 or 8 3 drop-off member planetary small missions, 1 of each commodity type: aluminum, carbon, corundum, quartz, stems, tin, which we don't have on this run, titanium, and tungsten. That way you don't have any duplicates of any of the commodities, so you don't end up mixing up where they go, which a lot of us have been there. It's really annoying. You unload them all, and then you just drop them all off, go back up to the station, and repeat. You do that like 3 times, that's 24 member-grade contracts, and you're pretty much at experienced rank. And when you get used to it, it can take you between, like an hour to an hour and 20 minutes, depending on the ship you're using, depending on your strategy for how you do stuff. Let's see, our actual unload time there was longer. We're at the 44-minute mark, but that's kind of me also being more laid back, chatting, throwing things around a Connie. It would be faster in my Caterpillar, just because I can put the main drop-offs at each bay of the Caterpillar, which is really nice. Kind of makes me feel super spoiled by that ship. Alright, we're going to get kind of right above. It is a distribution center. I love it. Okay, guys, this is what you want to look for. These are the areas that never fail. I say that now. We'll see. They've never failed me yet. These are... Yeah. What is the method for getting to a member? If that's your question, you want to grind out the... You can do this same strategy for rookie and junior, but a lot of people have a lot better time just running station-to-station missions that have less labor involved, like less loading. Anybody in chat who has their strategy for how they get through this, feel free to help our buddy Burrito out in the chat here. My strategy has always been these planetary missions up until I got too experienced, and then I was able to just rock it out, and there we go. I was about to be like, come on, give me the hanger. It wasn't... I was like, I jinxed myself. But this is one of the reasons I love these drop-offs, because you get these internal hangars, so you're not bothered by other players. You don't mess with the surface elevators. They're always bugged. You're going down in here to a proper internal cargo elevator and getting it done. So Senior has one Tim G that's juicier than that 698k member contract. It's 711k. Not significantly juicier by any means. It's like, that's only like what, 13k difference? I haven't seen Master yet. I haven't gotten there. But Senior is pretty similar.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
All right, here at the Kovalex Center, we should just have a 3-stem drop-off. That should be it. Which, in that case, I'm actually just going to hop off the ship and do this, because you got to get out to hit your elevator anyway. Where is my photo up there? There we go. That's what I want. Alright, let's get out here, drop this off, and move on. The first 2 drops, I guess, are going to be super quick. I don't think anything else is going to these locations. Kovalex Hub and... Oh, damn it. Alright, if you do what I just did like an idiot and you forgot to drop your cargo bay, there's an external button here aft. Just tap that and don't get crushed as it comes down. Whoa! I'm going to send this back up so it doesn't get in my way. Alright, let's grab these. Well, didn't mean to grab the bottom one. Let's pull that in. Throw it forward. The benefit for me is just more locations to pick up and transport. Yeah, I agree. That's a good point with regard to senior and master, is you just have more places to do it. So you can essentially create sort of hauling routes, kind of like trade routes. That's what I'm looking forward to doing. Currently, I mean, I don't really care that it's any more juicy monetarily than it currently is, because, you know, 700k for a mission is already insane. But yeah, having more places to do that from is going to be sweet. Especially when you have places that are bogged down like Everest Harbor is currently with the Align in mind, which we'll see. When we're done with this, I am going to run some Whole Sea stuff through Everest to see how that's performing. But yeah, there we go. We got that done. We'll send this back in here. We'll drop this off. We'll make sure we have all greens, which we do. Looks good. Moving on. Oh, wow. So, Kuza, we confirmed. Katie and Malachi is saying that an A1 did this, not an A2.
I guess they could drop a whole bunch of bombs at one point in time.
Who did it with the A1? I'm getting caught up on chat here. Sorry, guys. El Suxero, like your vid so much. Greetings from Germany. Awesome to see you, dude. Thanks for popping in the chat. I've been a little busy, so I've missed some of the chats coming through. I'm glad that with my crazy stream hours, I am basically the streamer for Europe. Not for this particular drop-off, Muddy, because it was just 3 boxes, and since I had to get out to drop the elevator anyway, it just made sense to go ahead and run out and do that. I just used the ship's tractor beam to actually load all this stuff on board. Alright.
I could see that, and the reason being is because the stormburst bombs are technically penetration bombs.
Oh, like bunker busters?
Correct. So they probably hit the ship and then blew the components up, and when the components detonate, the ship detonates. So
oh no!
They probably got a really lucky drop on them. Thinking about it.
Oh, that sucks. That's wild.
But the A2, the A1 can drop multiple bombs at a time. So if you carpet blanket someone from like up high, yeah, it's pretty butt.
New fear unlocked again. Let me pop through some more of this chat.
would be even worse because it would just be like a freaking nuke went off on the top of your boat.
Yeah, Molokai is saying that there were like 4 dead Polarises below this person, all bombed by his A1.
That's hilarious.
Oh wow. Oh, Katie, you upgraded your pirate cat into a C2? That would kind of break my heart too. I thought I lost my pirate Gladius because I upgraded it to a Zeus, and then also credit to this guy on stream. Captain Kuza saved me again, saying if I just melted my Zeus, I would be able to buy back the Gladi, which is great.
Do my best, man.
I wouldn't even know what to do with the extra 13k. I know, man, that's a lot. Oh yeah, I'm distracted chatting, and we are blasted out way further. So yeah, the timer for this mission is going to be a lot longer than it normally would. All right, let's see. Microtech Logistics will be our next one, because I think that's the other spot with just a 3-stem drop-off. So as long as it's going to take me to do this, just keep in mind it's going to be way faster when you're not live streaming, chatting, and half asleep. Stealing contracted. Well, yeah, I mean, Supply or Die is kind of a separate monster there with regard to making big money. Impressive to do it with a Whole Sea. That's a special kind of risky. It was Buzzcut Psycho, his YouTube video, The Polaris is trash. Stop complaining. Oh, Buzzcut. Yeah, I've seen his videos. He's pretty cool. Pretty hardcore PvP. I think actually one of my buddies actually knew him or was in another game with him at some point in the past.
I mean,
so Buzzcut's got a video we might need to check out, Cruz, of him creating a Polaris graveyard with his A1 Spirit.
Well, I mean, the thing about the Polaris is people think because it's a big capital ship that it's a great ship. Not if you're by yourself.
Yeah, and it was never meant to be flown solo. If you're flying a Polaris solo, it's one of those moments like you chose this or FAFO, you know, insert acronym here.
Yeah. I mean, it's a multi-crewed boat that's designed to be multi-crewed, and if you're flying it by yourself, you've assumed the risk that's going to happen.
Yep.
But
Yeah, I got the buyback for mine. Okay, cool. At least that's an option for you. C2 is a great ship, though. You know, I'm definitely Team Drake and biased to the Caterpillar, and I can't wait for the Ironclad to come out so I can show you guys that I'm the crazy enough person to actually load that thing by hand, since I don't think it'll have access to the whole sea's auto-loading system.
no, it won't.
That'll be fun. She says, I use my Polaris as a carrier at the moment because no friends. Oh, we'll have to fix that. You know, those ships are fun to crew up. Tell you what, I wonder if I can do this without killing myself. Famous last words. So I like to do this on stream, sending people our Discord invite. If I can do this, copy. We're still heading down to the distro center, not dying. So here we go for anybody who wants to hop in. Building up a cool group of people that love to do hauling stuff, carrying things around. A bunch of channels I created in there for people to be able to get together doing things with busting rocks, space trucking, scrap. So if you want some friends to play with, we might be able to make that happen. I'm going to try to get to a point to where I can actually participate more in those during the day and crew up with people, even if it's just helping with hauling missions or maybe helping man your Polaris if you need somebody on a gun and you're feeling a little nervous. These distribution centers, like, their ATC's asleep. Guys, wake up. Hello? Anyone home? I haven't had this problem in Hurston. Maybe I need to do it through my MFD.
Well, buddy, I got overtime again tomorrow, so I'm gonna pop out. I just wanted to stop in and say hi and let you know that what we had accomplished with the Geo.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun time, dude. I'm glad that was interesting. Hell yeah.
Can't believe that worked.
Am I at the right
Right,
center?
I'm gonna go grab some sleep. You have fun on the stream. I'll catch you later, brother.
Alrighty, bud.
Right.
I'll catch you later. Oh no, I'm Team Drake. Just need a little bit of a change. I've had the pirate. Yeah, you know, that's fair. That's fair. I've been rocking my pirate cat since shoot, I want to say 2019, maybe 2020. I can't remember when I actually got mine. I'll probably eventually end up getting my hands on just about every ship. I'm actually wondering if I ended up just going down to a distribution center that I wasn't supposed to. Like, I just stumbled across this one because I've got no ATC call here. I've never had this happen. Go figure. I talk about how this never happens, and here we go. Let's make sure we're at the right one. Not Grey Cat. I wanted, so we must, Microtech Logistics Depot, S4LD13. .9 kilometers away. It's this one. It's right in front of us. Yeah? No! The first ever issue! I used Drake Herald the first time yesterday. The interior of that ship's amazing, but not sure if it has any real use in game. Just go fast in a straight line. That's about the only use I can think of. I need to see if there's maybe a workaround here. Muddy Ninja Cat is my next ship. Hell yeah! I love me a Caterpillar. This ship I'm in now, the Connie Taurus, is actually my most flown ship by far as like time in it, time behind the sticks. Caterpillar would be my next one. Just because this thing is just so incredibly useful for bounties, for hauling. I mean, these 4 size 5 guns, the 24 missiles, the massive 174 cargo bay, really 168 because the last 6 is actually tucked away in the back of the ship, which you never really get to use. Man, this is frustrating. This place is like down or something. I was trying to just look externally to see if there are any external pads I could try to risk, but I don't think there is. I think you have to go inside these. So, you know, if Burrito's still in the chat or anybody who uses this, oh, you know, Arrow, you are totally right. Maybe that'll do it. Maybe the hopping out of my seat trick will do the trick. I haven't had this problem around Hurston. This is actually the first time we're encountering this. I'm going to go ahead and go coupled so we don't fall out of the sky when I hop up. But that is a good point. We might be having a little server desync. There is a chance that shard ripping will fix it too. Since we're not in the whole sea, we don't have to worry about the ship being in a closed state. So I could shard rip or soul rip is just when you alt F4 and you jump back in the same shard. You keep your missions and everything intact. Still nothing. Okay. I am gonna try that then. We're gonna land first though, because I do not want to take a chance of spawning back in and like being inside the planet or something. So we're gonna come down right here. We're gonna try a little shard rip. Wait, there are cargo pads on the outside pads. See, that's what I thought. That's what I heard, but I didn't see any. Are they back here? I've never had to do this. Are these the outside pads? Are these? Also, if you put your ship in a spot, will get impounded. You can teleport inside. You don't like the advanced. I don't really have opinions on the advanced HUD. You know, I use it in the whole sea to show my accurate fuel amounts, but I haven't really had much opinion. I've been actually on the advanced HUD versus the regular HUD. I kind of like not having a whole bunch of stuff in my face. I kind of like where everything is displayed currently. Oh, these must be. Yeah, there's a ship right there. So are these the pads? All right. That's them. Okay, cool. I'm learning something new. Thanks, guys. Wow, I've never had to actually do this. I've always just been able to go inside. At least we only have to drop 3 boxes here, and hopefully this is the only one acting up. So let's go ahead and... Oh yeah, we got some people out here. Oh, there's one of the elevators. Is that a player at the terminal? Or is that an NPC? This feels hella sketchy, guys. I don't know. I've never done this. Use the display hail. Yeah, I tried that. There's nothing coming up. It just says no contacts. Let me see. There's probably nothing even here. Yeah, there is nothing showing up at all. It's just like not registering that this place even has a comms unit. I'm pretty sure the only thing I'm dropping here is 3 SU of stims. Double check. Yeah, that's all that's going here. So we're going to do that real... Damn it, I did it again. Lion, you typically can. You can't here. The problem is, guys, it's bugged. So I'll show you again. I just did it. When it's working properly, yes. It'll be here in Friends. You'll see it pop up as a contact. It is not. It is not responding to the hotkey. It is not responding to anything. It's not even showing up. I'll show you since I have to hop back in my seat anyway. I'll show you the MFD. It's going to say no contacts. There's just nothing. This is first time I've ever seen this. Communications. No contacts available. So it's just not registering as here at all. All right, but what we're here for is to hit that cargo bay. Oh, no worries, man. I just wanted to show everybody, just in case I might have missed actually showing what was going on with that. But I'm going to go ahead and throw these in here, and hopefully it's the only distribution center that's actually doing this, because it's a first. This is also one of the planets that is dedicated to a server for Align and Mine, not for the actual lasers to my understanding, but because of Wikilo's missions are on Microtech. So if I had to guess, that's probably the culprit. Hopefully these servers aren't so heavy-handed after another hotfix or two. There we go. Man, I love this tractor beam for its speed. It just punches this stuff in here. Meow. What's up, Nico? Had a problem with the whole sea auto-loading. I remembered there was a guy who flies it. I scrolled through the stream and found a solution to the problem. How do you like the idea of making a video on solving problems with the whole sea? I love that idea. In fact, that is something I want to dedicate my testing to, is basically myself going through all the pains of the whole sea so that other people don't have to, at least as much. So if anybody has anything going on in their whole sea, if you leave comments on my whole sea videos, or even here in the chat, or hop in the Discord, I sent out a Discord link to anybody who wants to hop in there. My main focus is hauling, and whole sea is going to be one of my dedicated ships for testing, and then future versions of crazy ships that come out, like the Ironclad, maybe the whole B, the whole E. I would love to test all that stuff for everybody. And I've got the sort of mindset that can handle the testing without getting too bent out of shape. We're going to make sure we practice good habits here and have all of our doors closed while we're... my brain just turned off. I was going to say top side, surface side, land side, I don't know. Hey, bud, I need to borrow your terminal there, sir. You're just kind of standing sort of in the way a little bit. You know, don't mind me. I'm just going to kind of squeeze up here. Thank you. Please work. These external elevators, man, they have always been a problem. Well, no, don't worry, Katie. I won't hold this against you. Surface elevators, for me, have had this problem forever. Forever loading. Forever a problem. Are you okay, bud? You're freaking me out, man. Waving your hands around. Silver side. Oh, there we go. All right, please, 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 please. Just send it down. That's all we need. Yes. Please, please, please. Yes! The top side elevator worked. Let's go. Alright, so possible fix, guys. We just realized if you're in a bit of a permanent loading there, back up the terminal and go back in. You know, that's the only time I've ever done that, but maybe that's a workaround this patch. If you have sort of a touchy terminal. I wonder if they fix the incorrect delivery count issue 2+K. Oh, so Tim, with that one, I actually... Alright, let's get on the... Come on. I've only had one issue so far of it not dropping off the full amount. And it was by like 1 or 2 boxes. I'm suspecting that with regard to there being a miscount, it's very likely that it's just eating it and not registering it. But I think it also might be when you're actually getting your boxes put onto your whole C, when you're first picking up all your cargo. Sometimes it'll say cargo's all delivered and you're good to go, when in fact it's a little laggy and you want to actually wait there a little bit longer. What I'll even do is sort of move the ship up or down real quick to kind of shake it and break the cargo grid and then make it kind of recount. And if it doesn't change anything and it says everything's delivered, then I'll take off. Or if they start to threaten me with the impound police, then I'll take off. Because sometimes that you leave like just before they actually delivered that last box to your ship. And I don't know that that's going to be the solution to the problem every time. That's just kind of speculation. But I've noticed plenty of times where it says cargo transfer complete, or even the grid comes back, and I go into F4 to kind of look at everything, and then I see another box or two popping onto my ship. And I'm like, I almost left too early. Hopefully waiting a couple seconds longer, maybe shaking the ship around a little bit will help get that last box on. But out of, once I got away from Everest Harbor, I should say, I did about 6 missions with no issue, and the very last one I did, it was the senior contract from Terra to Magnus, and it missed like 132 SU box. It's like, son of a... Ugh. Alright, we're gonna go to Grey Cat now, and then Sakura, and then New Babbage to finish up. So we're getting there, That took a little longer just because we had to do that little workaround. And there we are. I was waiting for it to line up. Kevin, you're making me hungry, man. Talking about ribeyes and steaks and shit. Go hand-to-hand combat, dude. I don't want to deal with that right now. I'll get a freaking crime stat for hitting somebody. I've never messed with the NPCs around these areas. I'm trying to avoid that for this time. Oh no, I counted the boxes multiple times, made sure it was carrying the correct amount. Destinations are definitely miscounting. Yeah, see, there we go. There it is. I've done that too, where I busted out the calculator, I counted out the number of boxes and everything I have, and making sure everything's good, doing some actual inventory. So that sucks, yeah, that confirms. We have an issue there. What's up, Mitchell? What's going on? Contributed to the confirmed issue, though. Hopefully they'll fix it soon. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Burrito, what were you gonna say? Wait. What was who gonna say? Was I about to say something? Remind me? I apologize. I might have just completely brain farted there and went off topic. Thanks for a new video on the member rank. Oh man, awesome, cool. I'm glad that so many people are liking those. I canceled my morning meetings to test it out. Oh no! Well, I hope it ends up doing the job for you. We're actually running through Microtech member rank 7 mission stack here to see how it compares. And so far, so good. Thanks to some wonderful help from Katie and some other folks in the chat, I was able to use the external elevator at one of the distribution centers. First time I've ever had an issue with a distribution center. But we were able to get the cargo delivered and we were good. So I was trying to figure out where my thrust vector indicator was because we were not tracking where we needed to go right there. I still have the sound of the tractor beam in my headphones. I guess that's just... It wasn't somebody else's. It's just a bug that I'm experiencing. There we go. We have ATC. Beautiful. That's what I wanted. So it was just the Microtic Logistics Center that was issued, or that had an issue. Landing gear down. Coming straight in. Little fun tip. If you need to slow down a little bit faster, just pull your nose up and you will catch some extra surface area and slow down a lot faster. And then apply a little braking power there. Now this is going to be one of the ones where we definitely use that ship's tractor beam because we've got a lot more cargo to offload. And I actually, well, nope, I'm going to take off a little bit. I like to actually come in here at a perpendicular angle because it's less rotating of the ship's tractor beam and actually makes the whole process a lot faster versus going nose up to the elevator. This time we'll remember to actually drop that. I think you were going to say something about getting to member rank, but then someone mentioned the outside bays. Was I talking about doing like, you know, junior and rookie missions? Sorry, I've totally lost my trail of thought there. I do apologize for that. My bad. Sometimes I can get distracted and start chatting about something else and totally miss what was going on. Let's see. Gray Cat. Okay, yeah, the rest of this should be going to Gray Cat here. Well, I've landed on the space station landing pads. Do they have freight elevators out there? I might use them instead of going to the hangars to avoid hangar clipping. That's a decent question. I've used the pads to actually refuel, but I don't think that they actually have external elevators on the stations. A few times I've approached these centers and been registered as an enemy and shot out of the sky. On one of these occasions, I managed to land the ship in the hangar and finish the job. Ship was toast. Okay, that's never happened to me. Holy cow. I wonder why. I wonder what happened in the game that made them register you as an enemy. That's insane. Alright, let's go. How much tungsten? 8 SU of tungsten? Whoop, this way. Let's drop this in here real quick. Well, not that fast. Speed through this part. Pull this off. Okay. What do we got next here? Some titanium? Is that going here too? Yep, 9 SCUs worth. This makes it 5. Sometimes just keeping track of everything that I've dropped can be its own little challenge. I really wish there was a way to identify stuff just by mousing your tractor beam over it versus actually having to lock onto it to see what it is. That'd be a nice quality of life improvement, almost like you had an active scanner, so I could just see, like, these I know are stims, just because they're white. It's obvious. This could be titanium, tin, aluminum, tungsten, all kinds of stuff. Blue can be quartz or corundum. Green is typically copper, or not copper, geez, carbon. I always do that. All right, let's see. The stems here should be going to Gray Cat as well. It would be really nice to see the information like contracted stems when you just mouse over it. There we are. Whoops. This back. Now this is probably a bit of quartz. Is that what we're looking at? 6 SU of quartz? Yeah, there we go. No, no, damn. See, that's what you gotta be careful of. The tractor beam is off kilter. I'm gonna have to go out and clean that up. At least we have to go out of the ship anyway. I really wish they would just align the tractor beam laser with your actual crosshair. That would avoid so many of these problems. Is it just 8 SEU of quartz? No, it was 6, so we're good. Alright, we're gonna move this. Regrid that. Actually, 5 SEU of corundum. That's quartz. Was there carbon too? Yeah, 4 SEU of carbon. So here's the corundum. Alright, we'll get this off of here. Yeah, I gotta watch out for dislodging everything below. Need to leave, but I wish you guys an amazing day. Awesome, Tim. It was good to have you in the chat, man. I hope you have a great day, man. You take care. Whoa. Alright, come on. Let's fling that around. And there is the carbon. And we dropped it. Let's pick it back up. Whoa, okay, we grabbed the whole elevator again. That is weird. Alright, hang on. Nope. Nope. There we go. Got it. There we are. Now, aluminum, 9 of it. Which, I feel like one of the 9 flew off to the back of the ship. Which I don't really want to risk grabbing and dislodging everything else. There's 1. There's 2. And I think the last SCU is outside, which we'll just grab when we leave the ship. That should be everything if we did our math right. Yeah, agree, Kevin. Crosshair alignment with mining as well. Yes. Our mining laser and extraction lasers being off is really annoying. So it'd be nice to get that recalibrated. It reminds me back when the, I don't know if it's still a problem, so it might be, but the Crusader, the Ares Ion, it, like, the cannon fire was like a full, like, degree off of the actual crosshair. So you'd have to aim, like, left of the ship you're shooting at to be able to actually hit it, which was really frustrating. Okay, it didn't fly out of the ship. Oh, there it is. Kind of drunkenly right here. There we go. Come here, you. Really glad it didn't hit the landing gear. That could have been bad. Alright, we'll fling that in there. That should be it. Love it when I see all the green boxes. Hell yeah. And this might seem, again, labor intensive for folks, but I mean, you're doing 8 contracts at the same time. So you get a massive amount of XP when it's done. And it's taking me a lot longer on this session than it normally would. Given trying it in a different area that I'm not quite as used to speed running, because I usually do this again around Hurston, Everest Harbor to its main distribution centers. And then of course our little workaround, which thanks again to Katie for helping me out with the pads and getting the external elevator option working. That is helpful. Let's go ahead and close everything up, get off the ground, get our landing gear up. Okay, cool. Hangar door did recognize me. I wonder why it's pronounced aluminum and not aluminium. Actually, if you do a quick search, both pronunciations are correct because I think there's technically 2 different spellings. So aluminium, jeez, my brain could not even do it. And aluminum are both the proper ways of saying it, interestingly enough. All right. Yeah, this venture took a little longer than I thought. We're actually not too far away from 5 o'clock. So, let's see what we got next here. Some of the contracts completed. Oh, one of them did. Okay, that makes sense. Our next on the list should be Sakura. Yeah. And then finally New Babbage. Sakura's Sun Goldenrod Work Center. Yep. It's another reason I do them in a specific order. That way I don't even need to look at my mission contracts. I can just... Oh, it did the thing where it wants me to go to the planet first. If that happens, you just have to renav. Yeah, it's stupid. Sakura, Goldenrod again. Stop doing that. Okay, Microtech. pissing me off right now. Alright, we'll just have to get up higher, I guess. That was weird. Why were we completely facing down? Oh, a little red out there. You know, I do like how much faster the Connie is than the Caterpillar, as far as tearing out of the atmosphere and such. That's helpful. I did not know it was spelled differently. Well, thanks, man. I try. This is a random fun fact that I actually discovered from a YouTuber years ago. I can't remember who it was. And I Googled it, and I was like, no way. Really? Sure enough. Yep. It was very much the case. Yeah, see? I know we're too close. Quit trying to tell me to go to the planet. Let's try again. Maybe I was just too close. There we go. Now we can navigate properly. Let's get over here. Man, this thing feels like a sports car compared to flying the Caterpillar, as you would expect. When you spend a whole lot of time in the whole sea in the Cat, a Connie feels nimble. We call it aluminium here in Australia. Oh, wait, that's who it was. Stephen Mark Ryan, Australian YouTuber that covers Tesla and stock and such. He mentioned it at some point. It was kind of funny. I Want Connie was turned by a Starlancer Max, which is a beast, slow but stable. I actually want to get a Starlancer myself to do some testing with it, just because I got a buddy who's got it and loves it. And the Starlancer and the Connie are kind of the opposite sides of the coin, even though one is technically classed as a slightly larger ship than the other. They're very similar in their price, especially when you factor in fully upgraded across the board. I think it was Dr. Coldfinger Space Nuggets YouTube video. He did a Starlancer versus Connie Taurus kind of base comparison. Really great video if you guys haven't checked it out. Kevin, based on what Lion said, with the spelling, based on the spelling, it's the aluminium because of the IUM. God, I went really fast there. Holy cow. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm already above the distribution center. Jeez. Overshooting my destinations and everything. Alright, let's get in here. Come on, come on, come on. Trying to recorrect our thrust vector. There it is. Can you guys hear that tractor beam sound effect coming through the stream as well? I mean, imagine it. You should be able to. Since I can hear it, you should be able to hear it. I don't know why I'm asking that. That was kind of a dumb question. I have both in game. Starlancer cargo always gets trapped and hard to unload. Interesting to hear. That's some good feedback. I hadn't thought of that. I have not flown it yet, so I can't really give you my own perspective on it.
Please proceed to assigned landing.
But I do know that some people have said it shares the similar kind of weird design that like the freelancers have, where you have a certain bit of your cargo that's kind of locked in a weird spot. Someone also compared it to the way that Carrick is. It's just kind of a pain to get offloaded, which is frustrating. And Deshaun says yes. Yeah, the belly cargo bay can be fiddly. I found that lock on and walk back pointing down can dislodge it. Man, yeah, it's interesting. Like we'll all find these fun little workaround ways, or fun might not be the right word for it. I'll say interesting workarounds to get some of these things to function when you would really just hope that it just kind of functions as intended. And let's not land like that because we want to do the perpendicular landing. There we go. I'm so used to my slanted land with the Caterpillar. Kind of flying like I'm drunk. Pardon me. There we go. Drop the cargo bay. Let's get this done. Yeah, the Freelancer Max had a middle cabin, which is almost pointless. Yep. I think a lot of these, you know, kind of like, if you guys haven't seen it, I'll show you. In the Connie, so the main belly bay here is 168 of the 174. The last 6 is this weird little section back here where in the other Connies you have like a snub fighter. There it is, right here. This is a griddable 2x3 6 SCU space, and the lore behind it is that it's like a shielded area to smuggle in some bad stuff if you're getting scanned by local law enforcement ships or whatever.
Due to inactivity, we have been forced to assign your landing zone to another customer.
Due to inactivity, they've been forced to assign my landing zone to another customer? I've never heard that before. I hope we don't get impounded out of here. That would really be frustrating. Let's go ahead and offload this stuff then. Try to be quick. Microtech is not being very friendly to me today. Okay, back in the phone real fast. Let's get back to work here. We are at Sakura. Let's rotate. Let's see, what do we have at the forefront of our bay? Is this all on top of each other? It's tungsten. So we'll go all the way to the end of my photos. I guess it is in reverse order. That would make sense. So here should be 5 SEU of tungsten. Okay, that works. That means that this one should be the tungsten. Yep, cool. Starlancer needs the Connie belly for cargo. It has a walkway in the middle. That would be sweet. Yeah, because it has a drop-down bay, right? Okay, there's the tungsten. Now we got titanium. 9 SCU. There we go. Why can't I find information on the hotfix? My buddy Captain Kuzo was saying earlier that the patch notes for the hotfix are really hard to find. I don't know how to get to them myself. I typically just play the hotfix to see if it feels any different or if things I noticed that weren't working do suddenly work, and then I can give that feedback. I haven't done any whole C testing yet, so it's hard to say if it helped with that. There we go. There's the last bit of titanium. There's nothing wrong with playing the hotfix. So what I would do, have you done the trick where you rename your folder and then just verify files? Because that's what I do. I go into my Star Citizen folder and I rename my live folder to hotfix in all caps, and then just verify game files, and it'll just update whatever it needs to that. And then if you want to go back to live, you just reverse the process. Just rename it to live and then verify game files to go back. So that should help you either way if for some reason the hotfix is a problem. Let's see. Stims are all delivered. I don't have to worry about those. I can delete that photo. Let's just get that out of here. Quartz. We got 7 SEU, which should be the quad, single, and double. Which is all right here. Heck yeah. Oh, and I guess real quick, technically we did finish one contract, so it's hard to see. And our rep is in senior, so it's probably not going to be all that reflective, but we'll see how much it jumps. We'll probably say that we are like right in the middle of the R before we did this, so when we're done with all these, we'll see how much that rank jumps up. Yeah, that's what I would do then, States. I would just maybe mess around with that if you want to mess with it. My buddy Kuza said that he was playing on live and having a good time, wasn't having too much issue. He did the Align of Mine event with a couple of guys. I've noticed a big issue with the whole sea around Everest Harbor. You know, Crusader and Hurston systems are both heavily taxed right now with Align in Mine, the orbital laser platforms. So that's why I jumped into Hotfix, so I can see how the whole sea is performing, which unfortunately I haven't gotten to this morning. Let's see, the quartz is done. Now, corundum. We got, 3 SEU of corundum, which should be these guys right here in blue. Awesome. We're getting there. We only have the last drop-off, and then we're done with this. And then maybe I can run a couple of whole sea missions real quick out of Everest Harbor to see how that playtesting is doing. But yeah, this is also meant to be sort of a resource that people will be able to go back to. Like, if you have friends that need to grind member rank, send them to this live stream if they want to see the actual full process, or send them to the YouTube video that I put out, the member grind video that went up. It's much shorter. It's about 10 minutes long, and it basically is just a bullet point format to this. And hopefully it's helping people out, because I know the member grind can be kind of a pain. 3 SEU of copper. Why do I keep saying copper? It's carbon. Oh my gosh. My brain is fixated on copper. It's all the supplier die stuff, man. I'm stuck on copper. The hotfix and the page RAM thingy that they recommended earlier has seemed to fix the crashing issues. Hell yeah, Katie, awesome. Well, then I hope that means you have a lot of fun coming your way. Good stuff. Yeah, I will have to remember this page fix. So basically it was to make sure that the game was registering at a 16 or 32 gig RAM versus 64. I have to keep that in mind. Yeah, that was from early in the stream. I think it was Crazy was helping Katie out with that, because she's got 64 DDR5 and was having issues with like memory. Is that all the carbon? Yes. Okay, carbon's done. Now aluminum. That's awesome. All right, I'm really happy to hear that because that was definitely going to be a problem that was well over my head. Aluminum 6. I don't want to dislodge anything here, but let's see what this is. Tungsten. Titanium. Aluminum. Oh, there it is. There's the 2. Thanks, Deadwick. Found you the other day. Been doing hauling in a Zeus. Looking to buy an upgrade to haul in AUEC UK here. Hell yeah. Yeah, apparently I landed sort of a sweet spot for being a streamer that's available for the European region, which is really cool. I'm glad to be able to provide some content for everybody with my live streams this early in the morning. Yeah, if you have any questions on those videos, man, hit me up in the comments there. I try to reply to everything I can to help out. And there are a lot of other great comments from other players that have been really helpful. And I'm just going to keep on bringing all the hauling goodies, whole sea improvements or, you know, tips and tricks, grinding through member rank, different ships I eventually want to review. Like, I want to get my hands on basically all of the different hauling ships so I can actually give a personal experience opinion on them rather than just kind of talking about them on paper. In my use, I've messed around with the Zeus a bit, but I already had a Connie, and my Connie Taurus ended up just being what I used, so I ended up melting my Zeus. It was kind of sad because I really love the design of the Zeus. I love the cockpit. I love the way the glass is shaped with no struts in your face. I'm used to flying with all the struts, but it was really nice to see that design language. It's just from a bounty use, you know, weapons loadout and cargo capacity standpoint, the Taurus has just been the GOAT for me. The only other ship that I've thought about that would maybe compare to it's the Star Lancer. There we go, all green. Get that stuff going. And then aside from my Taurus, I of course use my Caterpillar as my main big hauler. And then the whole sea for the really big stuff. What's going on, Mix? I haven't been able to find any actual changelog for the hotfix, my friend. I'm not really sure what they actually patched. From what I understand, it's just really hard to figure out what the hotfixes actually do. So it's kind of a case of maybe playing and seeing if anything that was broken isn't broken anymore. As unhelpful as that is, I'm really sorry. Kevin just turning 10 a.m. here, so you hit the right spot for some of us over here. Germany's midday, I think. Awesome. Hell yeah. Well, my streaming schedule, guys, is going to be shifting from Tuesday, Thursday to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then I might do streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays too, but the official schedule you'll see on Twitch and on the YouTube videos is going to be changing to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Just because I really want to be able to do more. Things are growing and it's fun, so people are liking it. I appreciate all the fun I never really thought that I'd have, you know, 30, 40 people watching me haul cargo and chatting about Star Citizen and actually helping each other out, which is really cool. With all these tips and tricks, things that some of us might not have thought of. Like, I didn't even know about the external pads. I had heard that maybe there were external pads around these distribution centers, but I never actually used them, so that was super helpful.
Thank you. And please visit.
And I used to love the Free Max a couple years ago. Yeah, Starlancer Max. Like, what, 220 SCU of cargo, right? I got a buddy of mine that follows me on X as well, Inner Hype. He's a big MISC guy, freelancer guy, and he loves his Starlancer Max as well. So and I do want to get my hands on that thing and test it out. I think now we can head to New Babbage. Should be our final drop. Let's get on over there. Click on Hotfix and RSI Launcher, and then right-click on the Hotfix Central link. Oh! Okay, I'm going to have to look at that and see. Hang on. While we are aimlessly flying up, I'm going to take that advice. Patch notes. Click on Hotfix and RSI Launcher, and then to the right, click on the Hotfix Central link. Oh, Hotfix Central. Yeah, right here. Boom! There it is. Man, Lion coming in with the save. There we go, guys. Hotfix details. So yeah, make sure you're on Hotfix and then click on it. It's right here in our faces. Wow, it would have done me good to just look to the right. Dope. So there we go. Anybody who's curious about Hotfix stuff, Lion coming in with the save. There it is. Awesome. See, this is one of the reasons I'm really enjoying live streaming. I am torn when it goes to the Taurus and Starlancer. Yeah, I am a little biased myself to the Connie Taurus because this is my most flown ship, but I don't want that to be the only reason that I fly it. I want to try out the Star Lancer as well. I will say that in my experience, the Connie with its size 5 attritions during VHRT bounties has been the way to go for grabbing up all the goodies from VHRT missions, like your Quantanium, medical supplies, Altrucitoxin. If you're doing ERTs, if you're that brave, then even grabbing up some of the drugs and such, you know, the Slam and occasionally Maze, which is really profitable. Gasping Weevil eggs, pretty common. I clearly need more coffee. Yeah, you and me both. Wow, see, I have been chatting with you guys so much that I have barely touched my monster, and I usually down these so fast. But if it wasn't for all you wonderful people here in the chat helping me wake up, I would not be pumped and ready to go work out after this. That was one of the hardest things about staying consistently in the gym, is I would try to be up at like 4:45, 5 o'clock, and then go straight to the gym, throw back the pre-workout, and I'm like groggy and frustrated at the gym. It's one of the reasons I started playing Star Citizen at 3 a.m. because I get 2 hours to play Star Citizen, which I just wanted to do for fun, and then I noticed I was wide awake and ready to go train. And I'm like, all right, I think I found the method. And then I decided, hey, you know what? I got this ridiculous green screen for my other YouTube channel for whenever I want to do voiceover content. Why don't I mess with streaming? Because it'll actually look kind of good to not have a background and stuff. And here we are. What's up, Rob? Greetings, Captain Deadwake. Your whole sea streams have been great help. Keep the testing going. That, man, honestly, guys, that is the thing that I love to hear the most. I love hearing that what I'm doing is helping y'all out. That feels freaking dope. So I definitely will continue, and I will take in all the feedback and questions and curiosities with regard to anything with hauling, any kind of industrial work too. Like, I'm going to get into the mining and scrap gameplay too. I love the industrial gameplay. Space trucking has a special place in my heart, because it's just one of the things I've always loved in any game I've played. And it really, really means the world to know that what I'm doing is actually bringing some value to you guys and actually helping you with some stuff. So, awesome. Did you know that you could just knock the pilot in Vaughn missions to only get CS1 instead of 3? Way convenient than messing with the comm array. Hey, there you go. There's another tip. Tim G hitting us up with a way to not get as much of a felony. Good, because I don't think you can pay down a CS3. Can you? You can pay down a CS2, right? At one of the little terminals, so that way you don't have to worry about your comm array stuff. I think CS3 is when you are kind of screwed. All right, let's get in here. Looks like I'm going to have to give my little character some nutrition. We're down to 20% hydration. We've been working. Remember to stay properly hydrated, my friends. Alright. I really love New Babbage. This was one of my home stations for the longest time. And then Orison, because the floating city is kind of hard to beat. But it's just been such a risk lately with how, you know, gameplay's been to get stuck at Orison, can't get out of there because of server errors or what have you. Whoa, we flew in here a little drunk. Oh, small or medium hangar bay, whatever. There we go. Alright, this is it. We're gonna check again one more time. We're gonna see how much senior rep does this actually give us to complete all of these. That'd be really interesting, because we were at like the R, right? Yep. It was, and technically we completed one of them, so it'd say like middle R. Middle R is where we're at. We're about to get the rest of these off ship. Now we are one contract shy of the full 8 stack, which is as long as it's taken. Yeah, an hour and a half. We're at an hour and 35 minutes, even with all this talking, to complete 7 missions. It's really not bad if you think about it. I mean, it's flown by for me just because I've got you guys that I'm chatting with. The last Hotfix update was February 4th at 0120. Wait, what? Oh, is that what you... I'm confused. Where did that come from, Citaze? Is that what it says on the actual website link? I didn't catch that. Okay, this is the final offload, so we can just dump everything here, which is great. Just a shame that the live release has been, let's say, an issue for the whole sea. What the hell? There's a ship component just sitting there? I'm pretty sure. That's like a power plant or something. Weird. Alright, well, we're just going to ignore that. Anyway, sorry, just a shame the live release has been an issue. I've not been able to complete any experience rank missions out of Everest Harbor. Yes, so Rob, avoid Everest Harbor, which you've already kind of learned just from doing it. So right now, so with this Align and Mine event, CIG's server mesh strategy has changed a bit. They are dedicating full server resources to each of the Align and Mine systems as well. So Hurston and Crusader systems with the orbital lasers, as well as I think Microtech with its Wicklow stuff, they are heavily bogged down. So I have had nothing but issues as well with the whole sea around Everest Harbor, which I do want to test on this hotfix patch to see if there's any difference. I have had massive success with Magnus, Terra, Pyro Gateway missions in the whole sea, hauling missions. I've completed probably 7 or 8 with no issue. I only had one where it didn't read all the cargo. It was off by about 50 or 60 SEU of cargo, which at least doesn't really impact you in the negative too bad. But yeah, Everest Harbor and Seraphim Station, I would avoid like the plague with regard to whole sea stuff. At least for now. At least if we get another hotfix or 2 in. But your Magnus to Terra, Terra to Pyro, Pyro to Magnus, Pyro to Terra, those should be rocking. You should have a good time with those. I've been able to load up, refuel, offload, everything. So hopefully that's helpful. Get a drink before you faint. Yeah, no, we're good. I'm gonna offload these. I've got some stuff in my inventory. I see that. I know we're at 18%. I'm just a dedicated worker, man. You know, I'm on overtime here. We just dislodged. Okay, only 1 box. I know. I've been watching that hydration meter. It's just going down, down, down. Good looking out though, Lion. I appreciate it. In cap coming. No, we're at 18%. We got a little time. 18. You might not see the 1 next to it, so it's not 8%. Don't worry. Hotfix info is old. February 4th was the last post. Oh, bummer. Okay, yeah, I didn't catch that detail. It's good to know. Never had to claim my whole sea so many times in one session. Yeah, actually, there's a live stream. The last live stream before this, if you're on the YouTube channel or on Twitch, I think it was probably... It was Monday. Yeah, it was Monday. The first, like, 3 hours was me, or the first, like, hour and a half, 2 hours was me just trying to get my whole sea functioning. It was a nightmare. We had so many issues. We kept blacking out on it. We kept crashing, or having to claim it. It was a nightmare. And then once we got away from Everest Harbor and we actually got to like Terra and Magnus and such, we started having some good success. So, but yeah, the first couple of hours are just hilarious watching the fails. I'm gonna make a funny little fail compilation video for sure of the whole sea, because the Maggie C and I have definitely had some times. All right, let's go. There we are. Let's get this little drinky drink, because we need it. Stay in the pink with Siggies and drink. I love that. That's going to live rent free in my head. Pretty much. Stash this away. Alright. I really look forward to the day that we can do our Alt-H trick with medium armor and such. That way we don't have to... I still have my gadgets on me? Whoops. Alright, anyways. Let's go submit this stuff, man, and get up to the whole sea real quick. That should be everything. Still have the side effect out here. Oh, wow, I am so dumb, guys. I thought this was a component, and it's the frickin' terminal hangar area, or little box. It just, the colors threw me off, because it's the shape and colors and size of like a ship's component. Kevin, I think I need more coffee too, man. I don't know what's going on. You can sack 6 50K space station to planet capital. Trestle to micro, 1 SKU boxes, contracts between 6 and 11 SU. Get 300K every 30 to 40 minutes. It's a lot of work because of 1 SKU, but good for Zeus and smaller sizes. Yes, I appreciate that, man. That is a great way to also kind of blitz through your rookie and junior ranks until you get up to this. And here we go. This will finish off the rest of these missions. You only have to do this like maybe 3 times to get up to experienced rank. Maybe 3 times and then like a station hop mission, and then you're out of here. I don't know. It might be. Monster with a little extra. I full on thought that was a freaking ship's component. That's crazy. Yo, what's up, Charlie Mike? It's like trucking sim, but in space. Oh, Star Trucker. No, but I will be adding that to my list. I have played many an hour of American Truck Simulator, ATS. Love the hell out of that. Back when I played Elite Dangerous, I basically just hauled cargo. I liked hauling cargo in Sea of Thieves. I basically haul cargo for a living, human cargo, legally, Uber and Lyft. Man, I realize that came out wrong, and that might sound a little off. Not trafficking. Uber and Lyft in traffic. Man, phrasing is important. Alright, let's see, where are we at here? Yeah, so in senior rank, one of those doesn't do anything. Like, that just bumped us up a little bit over the R. But in a member rank mission, that'll get you like a good, like, 30% of your bar done. Very little here. Oh, wait, no, they're all coming through. They hadn't come through yet. Contract complete, contract complete. It's a fun indie game. It's on Game Pass and Steam. I'm about to, you know what? While those missions are finishing, let's take a peek. Let's fire up our Steam here. Let's see what's up. Where is it? Oh, it's taking forever. There it is. Star Trucker, huh? Star Trucker, here it is. What? Caterpillar vibes, am I right? Let's see this. Oh no, they're actually like Class 8 rigs. Okay, I might have to mess with this. This is hilarious. It's literally a truck. No way. We might have to diversify the streaming content, guys. Get a little bit of this Star Trucker in here. Speed limit sign. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. What is that? Wow, kind of hefty for an indie game. About 25 bucks. Mostly positive. Been out since 2024. All right, man. Thank you for sharing that with me, Charlie. That's sick. That is definitely up my alley. All right, let's take a look at our rep now. Let's see what's going on. Oh, no different. Okay, so it did reflect everything that happened. All right, cool. Well, let's get moving. Whoop. Well, there you go, guys. That is the member setup, and I almost bonked my head on the hangar bay there. Let's not do that. Wow, you can see Port Tressler from here. That's pretty cool. Let's tear out Atmo. Still have our tractor beam sound effect going on. I wonder if that'll still be there even when we're in the whole sea. So I'm going to try to make this quick because I am actually over time already on stream. All said, that was about an hour and 40 minutes by the time we fully offloaded that, which, you know, could have been worse, could have been worse. Pretty chill, pretty casual, laid-back session, stacking 7 member contracts. I don't want to leave you guys blue-balled, though, on the whole sea and how it performs, so we are going to shoot over to Everest Harbor in the whole sea and see if it actually works before I get going to the gym. So let's go ahead and get our course set for Port Tressler. Also look at Euro Truck Simulator 2 if you get some time. Not sure if it's the same people who do... Yeah, it is the same people who do ATS. Europe Truck Simulator, American Truck Simulator, the same developers. Is there a sequel to the game, though? Simulator 2. I might have to check that out. Alright. Oh, I'm so used to going towards the cargo area of the stations. I'm just automatically navigating that way. It's gonna feel weird to not have that tractor beam sound in my ear once we get out of this ship. So we'll go grab up the Maggie C, try to do a mission with her, and then I'll do a lot more testing with her too. Just not on this stream. There we go. Let's bump up here. Just don't want to smack into a station turret and get a crime stat. Because that's never happened to me. Alright, gear down. Alright. And full stop. Whoa. Okay, there we go.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Not bad, not bad. Let the wife know I'm gonna be a little delayed. Come on, go up. There we go. Sweet. Let's grab the Maggie C.
Welcome.
Been doing pretty well in this server, so we're just gonna actually stay here. Which, oh, I need to go up to actually grab her anyway. Alright, guys, time for that hull C testing. As long as this elevator behaves. There we are. Guess I can see while we're here if we got anything from Port Tressler to Everest Harbor. You know, as a trucker, I always want to make use of my ship. I don't want to travel anywhere empty if I don't have to. Alright, we're going to do our calling trick. We're going to call the ship, wait like 4 seconds once it registers, and store it. Same, it's done that again, just kind of blank space. And now we'll store it.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Come on, there we go. Which should instance our large hangar, so we can just call it from down there with no problem. There it is. Sweet. I love that this is working so consistently as far as getting the ship out without it being super glitched out, or getting eaten by our hangar, or some other shenanigans getting in our way of getting the move. Blah! Words. Getting in our way of getting moving. There we go. When your brain moves faster than your mouth can. Actually, let's... I don't think I actually have anything here. Nope, this place is empty. Might have to rely on our dirty trick to stay hydrated. Go ahead and run over here to where the entry point of the ship's going to be. Oh yeah, actually, let me double check. Calling. I wonder if there would be anything from... No, there should be. Yeah, it would be one of the interplanetaries. Or interstellars. Sorry, not interplanetary. Terra to Everest, Terra to Everest. Pyro to Everest. Everest is definitely a popular spot. Pyro to Everest. Do we have any Tressler? I doubt it. Wait. I'm dumb. We're going Tressler to Everest, not to a gateway. That's not going to be an interstellar. Don't mind me. What is it? Direct solar? Or... Yeah, it will be a direct solar. Okay. Just got to find the right direct solar. Genie to Everest. Come on, give us a Port Tressler. Direct solar. Specifically, a pickup from Port Tressler. Direct interstellar, interstellar, interstellar. Direct solar. Krill 1 to Port Tressler. Just gonna start clicking on all these just to see when Port Tressler might pop up. Port Tressler. Mick L1. It's not what we want. Give me a Port Tressler to Everest Harbor. That'd be dope. Man, really? Oh, my genie to Tressler. Tressler to Everest! Yay, we're gonna do a rookie, guys. Commander Hobo, how's it hauling? Hey, what's up, man? We just finished a 7-stack member mission with the Connie Taurus. We're actually getting ready to go test out the whole sea's usefulness over at Everest Harbor with this hotfix patch to see if it's any better than it was with that nightmare of a stream on Monday. I just wanted to carry something over. We got a little rookie contract from Port Tressler to Everest, so we'll see how that goes. That should be easy. It's only 15 SCU of supplies, agricultural supplies. I just like to practice a method of never traveling anywhere totally empty, but I mean, I'm pretty much empty at this point. Genie doesn't seem to have a 90K distribution center. No, it doesn't. Yeah, ArcCorp doesn't have. It's weird. I figured it would, but it's only Microtech and Hurston. Otherwise, I would have suggested ArcCorp because it's kind of excluded from this whole Align and Mine event, and would have been awesome because you wouldn't have any potential server hiccups or issues to worry about. And my bad, I should have mentioned that earlier in the stream too. I realized I haven't. But yeah, ArcCorp doesn't have the stackable planetary small missions that Microtech and Hurston do. There we go, engines on. Let's see, is the landing gear responding? Why isn't my landing gear responding anymore? It's really weird. Like, for some reason, I haven't been able to put my landing gear up or down. I'm probably going to have to claim the whole sea to fix that. Or maybe try something simple. Let's try repairing the ship. Let's see if it needs repair. Technically, it needs repair and refueling. All right, glad I saw that. All right, maybe I'll be able to move my landing gear now. The landing gear will go up when I go into quantum, which isn't too much of an issue, but repair in progress. Okay, I think we're done.
Launch sequence complete.
Can I put my landing gear up now? Nope. So landing gear is just bugged for me. I'll probably have to claim the ship to fix that, which we will deal with that another time. I'm going to go ahead and do my MFD casting since we're out of the Connie. There we go. Let's go ahead and get her expanded. And looks like we already got our cargo grid when we requested to depart. So we'll go grab that little bit of cargo and get over to Everest. Remember to do vertical strafe to correct versus doing lateral strafe. It's a lot more responsive. Yeah, it'll be fine once we quantum travel. It's just one of those little frustrating things. It's like, come on, man, why can't I use my landing gear? At least the hovering over a pad hovering over a pad trick to refuel functions regardless of your landing gear position, which is nice because you also can't drop your landing gear.
Thank you. And please visit again.
What was that? That was weird. All right. We're halted. We're loading. We're paused. Do a little shuffle. See what's going on here. Double tap landing gear. Huh. What's the standard keybind? Is it left alt N? Yeah, she being stubborn. She's like, no, you're gonna just keep that landing gear up. Really? Are we already struggling here, Port Tressler? What's our problem? What's your malfunction? That's a great sign. Looks like we will be traveling empty. It's not giving us anything. Cool. I didn't want your cargo anyway. Let's just go over to Everest Harbor. I might do a little server hop before actually taking a mission, though. This will be a quick jump anyway. We'll probably bedlog on the way. Do a little server hop. Oh, wait till we get pretty close, though. Hotfix been running better overall. Hard to say. Hard to say. We thought we had a way of figuring out what actually had been done to the hotfix, but turns out the last post was like from February, so it wasn't as useful as we hoped. I haven't done any whole seat testing since the hotfix, so that's what we're about to find out, is does Everest Harbor actually work now? I haven't been doing the align and mine stuff, so I don't know how the improvements or changes in experience might be there. I've mostly been doing my same old kind of cargo hauling thing, trying to see if the whole C does what it's supposed to do in live as well as it did in PTU. Guess I could have closed my splines. I will close my splines before I bedlog. Just did a server hop because the lifts on the docking port were not working. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see, what shard am I chilling in right now, just so I have an idea. I'm currently in Europe Shard 150, so I'll just be making sure I don't go back to the same one. I might even try heading over to a US Shard. We'll see. Typically, if I back out of EU and try to go back into EU, it'll just try to put me right back into the same Shard 150. So I'm gonna... that's why I'll hop between EU and USA to make sure I don't get placed in the same shard over and over. Let's back that off. The first post is the one getting updated. The info is there. Ooh, let me see. January 29th, February 3rd. I don't see... Current status, February 4th. I don't see it, Tim. Where's it at? Oh, I wanted to hop out. Let's do that. Let's go. Shields on, that off. Let's bedlog real quick. Well, wait. Gotta close the ship. See the current status title. Let me check that. Yeah, I see the current status title. It's just, it says February 4th, 2025. Discussion from January 29th. Trying to figure out where the stuff for April is. Or is it this? Do I have to go just one step further? Oh no, it's just the same page. Oh, wait a minute. Is that day, then month? What is in my drink? Well, no, see, like in the, well, hang on. In the military, I think we technically do it year, month, day. Fuck, I forgot how we used to actually write it in the Navy. Because, I mean, it's possible. Like, this could be the 2nd of April 2025, or it could be read as February 4th, 2025. It's the 2nd of April 2025. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's great. That's the highlight of the stream right there, guys. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Oh, all of the Americans about to lose their mind when they realize that the first number is the day, because that is a date format. That's great. Yeah, it's February. No, it's because depending on where you're at, this might be how they have it written as the 2nd of April 2025. That is a dating format. I don't know if that's how it's meant to be here. Yeah, because somebody could interpret this. It says current status. It is the 2nd of April. That is the 2nd of April 2025. If it's in that format, that's really funny. Or is it? All right, my brain's broken, my friends. I can't keep up with this now. Wait, yeah, actually, hang on. Version, client hotfix, 950-8788 versus 965. So it is April or February or what is? I'm broken. I'm broken. You guys have broken me. I can't. It's too early for this. It is February because of the client. I'm done. That's it. You've broken me. I can't. Oh, that was hilarious, dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, anyway, let's close up the whole sea and bet log. Will the whole sea close? Okay, she's closing. She's closing properly too, which is great. Oh man, I hope that was at least entertaining. Oh, that was awesome, dude. That was awesome. Any ideas why the whole sea keeps calling ATC when trying to load it? I've been with this bug for some time and it's so annoying. Any workaround? So yeah, once you try calling your cargo loading, I've noticed in reverse order that if I'm trying to dock, there's a big problem because the box will have spawned up and it'll keep saying that request has already been granted. And my workaround for the reverse order of the issue, where I've got the box but I need to dock, is to fly far enough away that the cargo box goes away, and then to make sure that you specifically request landing and not cargo loading. So in my key bindings, I have it actually bound to my stick, but this, just in case anybody doesn't know, if you go to flight movement and you scroll down, you'll actually see request landing as left alt N, and request cargo loading, which is what you do for the whole sea, is right alt N. And I have it bound on my stick separately. Basically, left hat for landing, down hat for cargo loading. And if you have one active, the other can get kind of bugged in. So the workaround, again, is to fly over 10 clicks away to get out of the request area, and then very specifically make sure you hit the one you want, whether it's cargo landing or cargo loading, and then you should be okay. But it is kind of annoying. You do have to get far enough away from the station to leave Armistice, to leave the request area. Otherwise, it counts it as you requesting the same thing over and over, which is really frustrating. So hopefully that is helpful. And we just sat down, which is not what we needed. Let's try that again. Hold that down, lie down. Here's another tip, guys, for anybody who has wondered why they can't bed log out of their whole sea. There's this funny little thing that happens. You see the get up here? When you right click and there's nothing? Frustrating, right? Look lower. There it is. Right next to your armpit. So not the one up here, the one down here. Now right click, and sometimes it can be a little finicky. Come on. Come on, you. Darn it. When this eventually happens, you'll see you can bed log. Just trying to figure out where... Oh, jerk. It's being extra finicky today. No, not that one. No, I need my armpit. Nope. Man. Oh, damn it, I just got up. Yeah, it's not usually this frustrating. Because you can right click and drag log out, but it's the bottom one, not the top one. I just sat down again. Oh man, some quality of life improvement around these simple things will be much loved whenever it does come. Yeah, you can take off your armor. I haven't had to. I've been in this armor for so. There we go. Log out. Cool. Finally it worked. I just had to shake around a little bit. But yeah, getting rid of the armor does help. Just shouldn't have to. Okay. Now let's hop over to US real quick. Purposeful attitude. It's one. I wonder what their rationale was for changing from the actual shard number to these weird abstract names they've put in. Because you can all still use the display info tactic to figure out what shard you're in. Bed logging is broken like that on a few ships. Okay, like to where it has both of the up and down sort of get up icons. I cannot log off an Intrepid or Zeus if I have armor on. That's frustrating. Do those ships at least have long press F shows it? Yeah, well, I was long pressing F kind of the whole time they were trying to get it to pop up. Now it's doing its thing, which is cool. But then it goes away, which is fine. We're good. We're already logged back in. Yeah, that whole little ordeal with me, I was basically holding F, trying to get it to reappear. Workaround citizen, my friends. Workaround citizen. There we go. But yeah, does the Intrepid or Zeus have at least a storage locker where you can throw your armor, at least? Because that would be frustrating if you had to just kind of dump it on the deck of your ship. Alright, finish going the rest of the way to Hurston here. Inviting the chaos of potential server issues. Let's turn our engines on. There we go. And I learned at a very bad time, you can't use a scope with the Xenothreat arms. It blocks your sight. Wow, that's kind of a pretty big oversight. Yikes. I know there's been a lot of issues, like if you tried to fly in a Vandal ship in heavy armor, it would just completely like block 70% of your visibility out of your window. Alright, do we have a clean navigation point? Oh yeah, it's right there. Heck yeah, let's go. Alright, we'll see how this goes, man. Let's check our server info real quick. Display info 1 will tell me how many people are here. 870 people on the server, 540 on this shard. Let's go to display 2 for shard number. Oh god. Oh no. We're in shard 010. Bastards. Oh, alright. The infamous shard 10, guys. Oh, this might be interesting. Alright, let's zip over to the cargo bay area. Don't want to be too close to where there might be potential turrets. Alright, let's check our contracts real fast. At least now we should be able to zip through quickly because we know it's one of the big ones. We're just going to go for broke, man. We're going to go for the biggest. Well, one of the biggest. 698K. It's always the one I need that I can't find. Really? Alright. I'm not... Wasn't getting the warm and fuzzy there. I'm just going to slow us down a bit. I might have went right over it. You're on the same server. What's up? Yeah, hopefully this server isn't as cursed today. Well, you might see me if you're over at Everest Harbor, man. We'll do a little honk honk. Try to get this loaded. I'm usually pretty decent at... Oh, they're right next to each other here. Cool. Terra Pyro, Everest Pyro. Wow, that's a full 4,300. That is quite the load. Got our box. We should be pretty much right over it. Let's see where it is. There we go. All right. Let's see what happens. Tomsky, UK, passing over the bow. Entering the grid. Will she load? Speed dropped off. Still cruising forward. Give it a little wiggle. Cargo is starting to transfer. So far, so good. Little stuttery, but it's coming through. It's not going to touch anything. We're just going to sit here for a minute. Was literally on 010 and had people fly into my whole seat at Seraphim Station. Oh, no. People are the worst, dude. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Katie. That blows. I'm always worried about that at Pyro Gateway. You know what? Seraphim Station kind of has the reputation of being Pad Rammer's Paradise thanks to the good old Port Olisar days. That seems to be where all the losers who would Pad Ram would go. I don't know if they hit you intentionally or if it was just pilot incompetence. It's kind of hard to say. Sorry to hear that. That's a major bummer. I am happy to see that we are actually loading cargo. Like, I wasn't even having this kind of luck a couple days ago. Putting down one of my MREs. No, applesauce packet. Good way to get some fiber in before training. I like what we're seeing. Hopefully we don't have any idiots run into us. RIP to Katie's Whole Sea. I miss Port Ollie. I hope they bring it back someday. Yeah, I do too. I see a lot of that sentiment, you know. Good old Port Olisar. That was the first place I ever took off from when I tried to figure out how the hell to make my ship go up. What's up? I see Camaro joining the Discord. Hey, hey. Yeah, this is going to be damn near completely full. It's like 95% of the whole seat capacity that we're getting here. And where are we heading? To Pyro, I think? Yeah, we'll go ahead and set navigation. Yeah, if any of you guys are chilling in server 010 at Everest Station, you should see me and the Maggie C loading up. Probably have to get further away from the station. It's not letting me nav to Pyro. Da dude, 5 clicks out. I see you coming in. Hopefully you're not coming toward me. Nah, you're chilling. Look at that. Look at that. She's almost completely full, guys. There's definitely some server lag. You know, it's filling up kind of slow. I'm seeing it sort of stutter. We're also getting sort of the weird, like, gamma ray burst sort of thing across the screen. That's what it makes me think of, like high energy particles. Like we're getting like a gamma ray burst of particles go past, which we would definitely be heavily irradiated. Is that it? So the grid is back, which means cargo transfer should be complete. I'm just waiting to see if anything else pops up, but we got a couple of 8 SCUs on the edges of the forward starboard spline. I think we are technically good to go, so let's go ahead and punch out of here. All ahead full. Going to boost up and away from the station. Love the sound of these engines when they cook. It reminds me of like watching Starship launch and the mock diamonds you get underneath. Alright. Let's go ahead and try to set Pyro Gateway as our transport again. Why are you being so stubborn? It's not wanting us to go anywhere. I know we got fuel, bro. Alright, we're just going to have to sort of dumbfire our quantum drive. to at least get somewhere, maybe away from station. Woof! That compensation. If anyone's in EU 130, there's a Connie sitting with 90 altrusotoxin, 14 eggs, and what? Yo, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a good thing to go scoop up. Alright, come on, come on, come on. That's a lot of revenue. Alright, there we go. Let's try this again. There we go, now we can navigate. Do some boost rotation here. Let off a little bit because we're going to overcompensate. Oh, we almost had it on the mark. We went a little over. Dang. Come on, go back down. There you go. So touchy. Whoa, 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 whoa. See, these missions are great, man, because it's only a 30 gig jump. That's why Everest Harbor is such a pivotal spot to be able to do these missions from. Yeah, especially for new players, the server thinks it's bait, so no one's taking it. That's awesome. Yeah, especially around Grim. That's some tricky territory. I wonder how many people are chilling in your server. My buddy Capcuz and I stumbled into a Grim Hex that was just littered with ships and a bunch of stuff just like that, and nobody was around. And there was only like 20 people on the server. It's like the server had died, so we took advantage. We looted all that stuff. He pulled out his SRV. We stripped things down. We pulled weapons off. We grabbed cargo. It was a good time. Alright, so Taze, I'll catch you later, man. It was awesome having you in the stream. I'm probably going to do this mission and maybe one more back to Everest Harbor before I call it myself. Because it's about to be 6 a.m. I would risk it. Yeah, so would I. What happens to your ship when you log out in bed? Does it stay in space or disappear? So it persists, like it'll stay there for you, but it shouldn't be listed for anybody else. Pretty sure. But, you know, in the off chance it is, or if there's any weirdness, that's why I never bed log unless I'm in like null space or dead space. Like pick a spot, nav, quantum jump, couple megameters or gigameters, however far you want to go, and then pop out. No one will be able to find you where you're at. So you kind of just, you're safe. You're in dead space. I still, in good habit, have my shields up, kill my engines, and then bedlog. You should be okay. I'm pretty sure. So it'll remember where you are, but your physicalized ship and everything should not be, like, actually there to where I could see it if I flew up to it. Yeah, it disappears for other players. I feel like the old Port Olisar would be a good thing to have as a mission location just to put it back in game. Yeah. Kind of like the, what is it, INS Jericho? Kind of like the derelict station that we had to find. What was that? Way back, it was Xenothreat stuff. I think it'd be cool to have Port Olisar back. Or maybe like a future station will be named out of respect for Port Olisar. Pay homage to it. Alright. Pyro Gateway. Really scary place to be with a whole sea. I mean, I know we're not in Supply or Die anymore, but still doesn't really give you the warm and fuzzy to be here sometimes. Hopefully everyone here is in a pretty chill mood. Alright, we're going to get up to about our trademark 300 meters a second, and then we will flip and burn. I joined tonight, was bedlogged halfway to Terra Gateway. Yeah, I actually started the stream popping in my ship after having bedlogged between Magnus and Terra. It was pretty close to Magnus. Alright, we're up to about 300 meters a second. This is where we'll start our flip and burn maneuver after I double check that we are clear forward, which we are. Alright. All hands take your seats, prepare for flip and burn. There's ATC, right on time. Let's go full retro. Use all 6 of those big beefy aft engines to slow us down. The first ship in game to actually really need this feature to slow down in a meaningful way when you're full of cargo. Alright, we'll continue holding our aft burn until we're down to about 40 meters per second or so. We were really efficient on that burn. We probably could have increased our speed to maybe 350 meters a second and been okay. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and rotate us now. Yeah, that was almost a little too efficient. We're not as close as I would have expected. Okay. There we go. There's our box. So yeah, maybe 350 meters a second is the better way to do it. A little faster. Engines were cooking. Oh, what's up? Gabriel Belmont going to drop off his load in the Hull C as well. We're going to give him right of way. I'm not sure where exactly he's stopping. He might be in his own grid, kind of right in front of us. There's another Hull C out here. Oh, that's exciting. I can't wait to see the flurry of Hull Cs. That one is apparently derelict. There's nobody in it, but we've got somebody right over here. We're going to be right in front of them. If you're by any chance in our stream, what is up, Gabe? We are coming in above you. Too cool. This is what I look forward to seeing more and more. Bunch of Hull Cs. Yep, I see him offloading. I actually see his cargo dropping off. What is up, Greeny Cake? So we're actually kind of testing that out now. Oh, I came in here a little hot. Yikes. We're overshooting our spot a little bit. Got way too excited by seeing another Hull C. We did, to answer your question though, manage to successfully load up from Everest Harbor. We'll see if it does the full drop-off, which it should here at Pyro. I've been pretty fortunate with my experience at Pyro. I got way too distracted by seeing another Hull C pilot. That was embarrassing. Don't mind me. It's kind of hard to say with one success whether or not it's, you know, fixed, for lack of a better term. But that is what we're kind of here to find out. Alright, we should be beginning offload any second. I'm getting the annoying kind of double clicks, which I don't like. We're going to wiggle. That's a good question, Beer Pro. Like, if somebody randomly hits your ship, I don't know. I hope not. It'd be really nice to just kind of take away the power of people using their Auroras as torpedoes. Sweet. Looks like Gabriel got his offload done. We are not getting so lucky. We've got another Hull C out here. Looks like they might be waiting for us. It's hard to say. We've got a really annoying kind of cargo transfer thing going on. So what I'm going to do, we did a little shimmy. We're going to hop out of our seat. See if we have a server desync thing going on. Alright, we are out of our seat. Let's hop back in. What's up, Wiley? Was seeing a heavy Hull C traffic last night. Also was wishing for more Hull C missions at the senior rank. Yeah, same. Yeah, there's a lot of Hull Cs moving around right now. Which might also provide some server stress. Alright. If we get our annoying double clicks again, we might need to fly away and see if we can get another grid. Damn, we're just getting the... like it's trying. Alright, let's break away. Not too fast. We don't want to hit any other Hull Cs. Just in case maybe there's some other weird communications issue. This part's frustrating. I haven't really had this issue at Pyro Gateway yet, but I'm going to kind of leave the spot just in case some other Hull Cs need it. That Hull C out there is chilling, definitely away from the cargo area. Yeah, this is frustrating. I'm gonna... This part is extra annoying because we got to get far enough away for ATC to revoke our grid, and then I'm going to try to call it back out. We'll just full burn up to, what, maybe 200 meters a second. See if we can rectify this. This might end up being a no-go. Quantum, just let me know that quantum travel was started by somebody and I'm not in a party with them. That's weird. How long do how long do I think the performance is going to be degraded? It's hard to say. There is a hotfix out right now, and usually when they start dropping hotfixes, they start putting out several pretty quickly because they're trying to fix a lot of issues that are currently going on. So hopefully we see some more hotfix patches dropping today, and they can smooth this out. I also expect that with the Hull C working more frequently, there's going to be more Hull C pilots, which means more server stress on the cargo grid, which might mean more braking. So, sort of a double-edged sword with the Hull C being better, as that more people are going to use it. But that's good, because it also shows CIG where the pitfalls are with the cargo system, with server balance and all. There we go. Landing area revoked. That's what we wanted. So now we're going to begin our process of returning again. Trying to get another grid to see if we can offload this stuff. What's up, Pilgrim? The rep penalties for not completing are way too high with bugs happening. Yeah, so in my experience, the only way you lose rep is if you actually submit the mission without it being completed. I haven't seen rep lost with abandoning. Fortunately, I haven't had my ship just explode. But if you just log out, you know, it should save your rep from getting tanked, right? I mean, let me know, guys, if I'm in the wrong here. Just definitely don't click submit. You know, don't try to finish the mission if it's not working right, especially if you got knocked out with a bug. From what I've seen, straight up abandoning missions hasn't really hurt rep. It's just the partial submit. If you have, you know, way under the amount you're supposed to deliver, it's just not worth submitting. You'd rather exit the menus, claim your ship, and try again versus actually losing rank.
Hello, and thank you for
Alright. Calling another grid.
You are clear to launch.
Okay, we actually got a different grid. We got the one that was in front where that other Hull C was dropping, and he dropped off successfully. What's up, Mr. R... or no R name? Sorry, that threw me off. I'm glad you're liking the stream. I mean, yeah, cargo hauling is going to be pretty chill. But yeah, Ronan, don't partial submit unless you're like 75% completed or more, because that is what is going to nuke your rep. Hopefully that helps everybody. It's you're better off just exiting the game or abandoning. That way you don't take that rep hit, because that's more painful than just losing your mission, by far. I lost my Covalex rep from experience back to trainee. Not sure if it was from abandoning or submitting, but I lost it all. Yeah, it's got to be submitting. As far as I know, currently abandoning doesn't do anything to the negative. Yeah, if bugged or any of these, you just log out and rep is not affected. Tested many times. Yeah, logging out, honestly, is the surefire way. If you're worried about abandoning, submitting absolutely will mess your rep up. If I don't remember the threshold. I don't remember if it's 75% or 50%, because you'll get partial credit, but it'll hurt your rep. So yeah, when in doubt, log out. If you can remember that. When in doubt, log out. I'd rather face a 15-minute Hull C claim time than lose my hauling reputation with Covalex. Unfortunately, once your rep is gone, I think your only bet is to grind it back up and just be really careful not to do that again. It really sucks. I wish there was another solution. If there is, maybe somebody in chat can let us know. But that is just an unfortunate, really unfortunate thing to happen. I've seen it happen to quite a few people, and it'll kill their hauling vibes. And it would be nice if there was some kind of a notice to haulers that, hey, if you do this thing, if you hit submit, it's going to mess you up. Because I bet a lot of people wouldn't be doing it. I found out the hard way. I didn't lose like full levels of rep, but I've definitely seen like a good 20% chunk of rep go away back in like the early member days. And I was like, what just happened? And then found out pretty fast that it was by partial submitting. Alright, let's see We're still. Hands off the sticks. Please, oh please, oh please. Why does it feel like we're moving? I don't think we are. I think it's just perspective. I'm going to give us a little vertical jiggle, jostle, whatever I'm trying to say. Yeah, grinding. I'm on junior. So slow to get it back. Oh, no. Oh, from junior. Damn. Just escape the menu when you can't complete. Grinding back up is hated. Speaking from experience. Yeah, it's tough. Time to start a new life. Oh, I'm sorry, man. That really blows. Yeah, looks like this might just be the luck of server 010. We're in US 010, which is known for being kind of a cursed server. And I am not having any luck offloading. I see another whole seat behind me trying to do the same. It's probably still one of those servers you want to avoid. I'm going to go ahead and give myself a pitch change. We onloaded from Everest, so that communication was there, but our offload is just not happening. I'm going to try hopping out of my seat again. Might even be tempted to try moving around a box or two to see if it sort of kickstarts the onload offload process. Might as well, because we're pretty much at a loss anyway with this mission. Yeah, like I'm not doing anything with this mission if it doesn't work. I am just exiting the menus and claiming my ship, because this would definitely tank my rep, and I am not having that. But we're going to head out and see if maybe moving a box around kind of wakes the station up. There's a good chance that while we do this, we're going to get impounded. But again, workaround citizen, and I always like to make sure I close my ship. I don't want to leave it open. Let's actually make sure that that closes. Which it didn't register, so we're going to close it from out here. Why? The tractor beam isn't working? Are you kidding? Is that how bad this server is? What the heck? I mean, they call this a cursed server for a reason. What are you... Throw that down. Wow. Yeah, this is one of those moments where Chris Roberts is just saying, screw you, dude. You're not going to do anything here. Yeah, because my tractor beam on the ship won't work. At least it never usually does. Okay, that's closing. I guess I'll try. Might as well. Frickin' rifle is not working. We might have a server error inbound. Oh, I can't store it. I can't store my rifle. Oh, there we go. Okay. Jeez. Yeah, this server's struggling, dude. 010. I avoid it like the plague, dude. This is why. Alright, let's go into flight mode. Or not flight mode. SCM. So whether or not this is hotfix related concerns or good old server 10 concerns is hard to say. Alright. I really just wanted to just move around a box or two to see if it would sort of wake up the cargo area. Shaw's not the case. I've typically used my tractor rifle plenty of times in these armistice zones. Unless those were sort of a glitch. Okay, so I can use the ship one now, which is weird. Usually this is the one that'll mess up. Trying to grab the small one there. There we go. I don't see anything leaving. Now let's see. We'll get this up here. This is what I was going to do with the tractor rifle, was hop out and just try to get these smaller boxes off. Let's see if I can access any of the others. I don't know. Do any of you guys Yeah, Shaz, when you're in your whole C in the grid area, you're supposed to be able to use your tractor rifle. I have in plenty of cases, but it's not working right now. It's typically if you're not able to use it, you can't fire it at all. But mine, you can hear it like misfiring. So there's another problem, which I'm not sure. And I can never seem to access the 4th tractor beam. I don't know if anybody's got a workaround for that from here, or if like there's a certain area you got to be in. What just happened? Oh, jeez. Great. That box is just glitched now. Okay, there we go. Let's move this over here. I don't see any more small boxes, but I also can't get my hands on the 4th tractor beam for some reason. That's it for the small boxes. Maybe now if I do a little shimmy in the seat, it'll work. Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the last stream from Monday, you can see me using the tractor beam in the cargo area. And it shouldn't even fire if you're not able to. Like, it's misfiring. It's doing something weird. I could be totally wrong, though. You know, I've been wrong about a lot of things this morning, and it's been an interesting time. Yeah. Okay, those are the only ones. Yeah, another way to remember, well, I guess, you know, ships can fire the weapons in armistice zones too, so that's not really a good indicator, but the fact that I could use my ship's tractor beam too, when usually that seems to be the one that's bugged out, but I can use my tractor rifle. It's like a one or the other kind of scenario a lot of the time. Let's see if I shake my ship around, if it'll offload now. Also don't want to bump into those boxes I took off the ship. Just going to move around a little bit. Kind of away from them slightly. There we go. Come on, man. Transfer pause. Just going to give it a sec. I think there's a lot of input delay right now. Because it doesn't usually take this long to register that we've stopped moving. Which we definitely have. Do a little more dramatic movement with it. That is what it is, Laser. It's part of the experience, really. I mean, I was having a lot of really good success. Monday and Tuesday off stream, Monday on stream once we got away from Everest Harbor. If I had to bet, this is more so an issue with server 10 or shard 10 because it's always been plagued with problems. Now it's not doing like anything. Oh. Yeah, now it's doing the constant trying to grab cargo trick. It's like in its infinite starting to offload clicky crap that pretty much tells you that there's an issue. This is another reason I really look forward to getting the external vertical cargo elevators because it'll take care of this because we'll be able to just offload it manually. Now, if shard ripping didn't ruin the whole sea, I would do that where you Alt F4, but then it puts the ship into a closed state. That's a whole nightmare of a problem that you have to work around. That guy is hauling through here, man. Woof. Bye-bye. I can't think of anything else. This has been your experience today as well on the Australian servers. Deshaun, have you been using the live build or hotfix build? Just curious which one, because maybe this is a hotfix problem. And I think I am probably going to call it there, my friends. So I will just be popping out of my seat and backing out to menus. Really unfortunate. Both now. Oh, lovely. Cool. So hopefully we get hotfix soon. That'll maybe rectify that. I'm wondering what the issue might be. I'm also holding off that maybe it was being in shard 010. I would test some more, but it's already out. It's well after 6, and I really got to get going. I got to get to the gym and get to work. But I will be back at this testing probably later today. Maybe not live, but at least, you know, testing today. And then we'll be live again probably tomorrow and Friday. I'm probably just going to do every day this week. But the schedule is definitely going to be officially Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then maybe some extra days on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But it's a pain. Yeah, it was really awesome having you all in chat. You know, Kevin, Deshaun, Katie, Lion, all of you helping out. Plenty of other names that I'm not remembering off the top of my head. 77, what's up? Definitely a max lift bug, not any kind of restriction. Usually it's back to work after the QT jumps are logged out. Yeah, that's been my experience as well, as far as the tractor rifle. I just go figure that it would happen as I was actually needing to use it. But definitely try to avoid Shard 10 in the US if you can. I don't know if Shard 10 in the EU has the same reputation. Even CIG calls Shard 10 the cursed shard. But yeah, man, I will catch you guys later. Thanks again